going on, everybody? Games and gamers, dudes and dudettes, lads and lassies. Welcome back to Games and Gamers! So, in our last one, Danger and I said how every video game known to man is just awful. Not a single good video game out there. And everybody remember, this last video was Danger's topic. He wanted to talk about it early on in the Games and Gamers series about the last episode. That was 100% his topic. That is the 100% truth. That last episode was indeed Danger's topic, right, Danger?
Sure. Sure.
It's
Sure,
a
I'll go
loophole
with
to the highest caliber, and that makes it dandy. But yeah, we did.
Sure, let's go with that.
Last time we just talked about video games and it was in an entirety, just talked video games the entire time.
Yep.
Also, I have Danger here as always, as like 92% always. Hi, Danger.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
Danger.
Yep.
I'm tired.
I am tired as well.
I did a lot of stuff yesterday. I had family in town, so I babysat cousins for like 4 hours straight, maybe 5.
Jeez.
No, they got here at like 3, and they didn't leave till like we recorded the Extreme podcast. So that's 5 hours.
Man, the Extreme podcast. You're saying the Extreme podcast? Link down in the description. Talked about Dragon Ball for
DangerXtreme will be down
2 hours.
below.
Yeah, DangerXtreme will be down there, and then y'all can find it somewhere. But you got to look for it though.
And
Well, we don't want to make it. We don't want to make it too easy. Yeah, both our channels are down below. We don't want to make it too easy. Trying
Except
to.
Dokkan Wen will be linked down below.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
It's Gage Hauser.
Gage Hauser, yeah. But gotta talk. I wonder. I'm thinking about what video games I would want to talk about, because last video games that we talked about was like just fighting games. It was kind of all over the place. It was exactly like the episode we did, but it was like all over the place.
We need to do the Games and Gamers Extreme Edition. And it's us just being loud and yelling at each other the entire time. This is why this game is good. This is why this game is trash. This is why Sonic shouldn't exist. This is why Final Fantasy is the greatest franchise ever.
Extreme episode, the Extreme Edition. For us to do an Extreme Games and Gamers, we have to have Gamer. The one who's on the Extreme channel with the name Gamer has to be on here as like a guest. That'll be the Extreme Games and Gamers. That'll be it. That's what that'll be.
As we always do, as we now sort of maybe always do, like 30% of our videos. Danger.
Yep.
What is the matter with you?
What's the matter, bro? I have been going through it. I'm tired. I have been exercising. I'm so exhausted. I've been working on I've been trying to get things back in order. I'm still recovering. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed, but I only sleep for 5 hours, and I wake up unable to go back to sleep. Yep. I just want it to be over.
Yep, I have that same issue.
So what's the matter with you?
Oh my god, life is terrible. My hot water heater went out. I had to spend $1,400 to get it replaced.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say hot wife when you said hot water. These are horrible. My hot wife.
I'm talking to a hot mom right now. My toilet, I bought a bright blue baby toilet at a garage sale. My life is something. I don't know if it's good or bad right now.
Can confirm he is not making this up. He has Riz. He is not making it up.
I'll give a fun story on this. And people out there who listen, you can either have respect for me or lose respect for me. Either way, it happened. So I was at a garage sale yesterday. My dad and I go back now that I'm working Saturdays. I can't do garage sales like I want to, and it's getting cold too. So garage sales are going to become less and less. But we go garage selling on Saturdays, Fridays if possible. And video games are the big thing I hunt. It's where a lot of my collection, PS3s and stuff like that, come from. Is that Wii, GameCube, PS, Xbox, whatever I want, comes from garage sales. And so I went to a place yesterday, and there were some women at a garage sale. I saw them. I thought they were older ladies because the way they turned, the way they were bundled up, couldn't see their faces. So I was like, oh, they're little old ladies at a garage sale. And I'll go hop out and go to this garage sale. I get out, and no, it is a mother. A young mother. She's 25 years old. And I'm not going to name her name. Let's just call her Frances. Frances, the most feminine name of all times, Frances, I started talking to Frances. It's like, hey, I went to college with her. That's how I know her. Struck up the conversation.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, struck up the conversation. Hey, do you remember me? I'm Hayden. Yeah, we were in such and such classes together. Yeah, how you doing? We just sit there chatting. My dad's watching. Hayden, video games. Really? Sorry for cutting this off. No, it's okay. It's okay. So I go over there, I start looking, and it's Nintendo stuff. And not just any Nintendo stuff, it's expensive Nintendo stuff.
Oh yeah.
Switch games and Pokemon games that you'll still Pokemon Alpha like Ultra Sun and Alpha Sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
bought that. You had I bought all except for one Switch game because it was like some horse like Heartland kind of game. So Smash Brothers Ultimate, Bendy and the Ink Machine, My Hero Ultimate, My Hero One Justice 2, and two Pokemon games. And
Yeah.
so
Context. He got like almost $300 worth of stuff for very like for
twenty
pretty
five
much for
bucks.
free.
25 bucks.
25, almost free. Almost.
So I'm sitting there chatting with her,
Almost.
and she was like, yeah, those are my sons. He doesn't play them anymore. I was gonna sell them. I was gonna sell them for $15 each, which honestly is as expensive as it is. The garage sale is a fourth of the price for some of them.
Yeah. No, that's literally still an absolute steal.
And so she's like this. I mean, I gotta give us. I mean, you gotta have a specific number when it comes down to the pricing. And that's what she was saying. How about this? We'll make up the difference. You can give me your number on top of this number, and I'll pay for it. And then I'll pay for the rest of it on, let's say, dinner one night. And she looks at me and just gives such a grin. Is that the best pickup line you have? I mean, I have worse. You know what? It's a deal. So she writes down the
Wow.
number and wraps all the games in it, and I get it. And I'm like, "You have a nice day." I will. We've been talking today too, and we'll come up with a day whenever she's available. So I go to the car, and my dad is like, "Hayden, that was the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was clever. Don't get me wrong, but
It's
I mean, I have to pay. You have to
jeez.
pay a specific number. Why don't you give me your number to make up the difference?"
Yeah, bro, and I haven't heard this. You didn't tell
I
me
know.
this. And you didn't even tell me you knew this person beforehand.
I
You
know.
just told me that no context. I flirted with a mom. That is all the context I had. I'm like,
Hmm.
what?
I flirted with a mom
That's hilarious
and
though.
got video games.
That is funny. Hope
Uh,
it goes well. Hopefully,
we, we,
cross fingers it goes well.
we shall see. Like I said, 4 kids of varying ages. I can handle kids, but 2, 3, 5, and 8. That's all over the
That
place.
is that is a lot. That is a lot.
Especially at 25, because you really think about it. She's 25 years old, and all these
Yeah,
kids are
yeah,
8,
yeah. Let's
just
not get
turned
into
8.
that. Let's,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, people out
but
there. I don't know why this happened. I've never had this happen to me. I suck when it comes down to women. Maybe she felt pity because the fact said, "Hey, I mean, I gotta pay a specific number. Why don't you just give me yours for the difference?" Danger, rate that pickup line on a scale of 1 to 10.
I, like a four, like a four. I'm biased because I think it's hilarious, but I'm giving that a four.
I think
That
that's a
is,
fair number. That's legitimately a fair
I
number.
I think it is a four, maybe a five.
You know
Yeah,
what you should.
clever,
You
clever.
know,
The
next time
fact it worked. The fact it worked.
I can
That is
be
whole.
charming. Don't get me wrong. People out there, despite my very profane vernacular, I can be very charming. I'm not often, but I can be. And so I literally busted out the charm on accident. And then I saw the games and I was like, you know what? Let's go along with it. And it all, I mean, no matter what, I didn't, I saw the opportunity. I took it, strike before you get struck. But
She,
her
that
mom was
there's
there and was just like, "Oh my god, that's awful." She was
you
laughing.
had yeah bro dude. Oh my gosh, that is. I'd probably do the same thing. I'd probably do the same
Here's
thing to
be the
Peach.
best part. Let's say
I would 100% probably do. I plan on wearing a cowboy hat whenever I go visit. I plan on wearing a cowboy hat.
Danger. Why?
Cowboy hat, boots, belt, jeans. Like I want to
You're
do
going to
the
be way
whole.
out of place here. We live on a farm, but we don't have any horses. We have a horse.
No. When I go to visit Peach, I'm gonna be
Oh,
wearing
you
all
just said when
that.
you go to visit. I thought you meant visit me.
No, when I go to visit Peach, I'm gonna wear all the like ridiculous things like cowboy hat, cowboy boots, jeans, and go to where she lives. I think it'd be so
You're going
funny.
to have to get yeah, you're going to have to practice your country accent.
Country accent. So one thing is,
Gotta
I
be able to
don't
go yeehaw on a typical Wednesday afternoon. Otherwise, you won't be going nowhere on that Saturday night. If you understand what I'm saying.
I don't know what triggers it, but sometimes randomly when I'm talking, because some of our families are like very country accent heavy, and so I guess sometimes at some point I'll end up talking like that. I don't know if it's either I get like excited or angry or something, but I'll be talking and then eventually it like kicks in. And
Here's
I've
the
never heard it, but once somebody mentioned it, like I can't say like y'all. Apparently they said like I can't say y'all correctly.
y'all.
Like when I say y'all, apparently I say it with like a U. That's what I've been told. It's like when I say y'all,
I don't use
I
the
start
word
with the U.
y'all unless I get pissed. Like if
I
I have a
I
very
use y'all a lot. I use
I
y'all like
for people that don't know, I've been told this before. You would never know where I live. I live in the middle of butt fuck nowhere. I don't have a country accent. I don't have the country words. I've been told this by multiple people. I sound like I grew up in a fucking posh neighborhood. I if I get annoyed, the southern comes out of me. No,
Southern comes in.
very few people have heard the southern come out of me. Very few.
Mine's like random and only for certain words, and then sometimes it'll happen.
And now that I'm thinking about this whole fucking thing with Francis, be like, "Hey Hayden, yeah, how did you meet mom? Video games."
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like imagine like they figure out your like, oh, you're the new dad. It's like, oh, how'd you get with mom? It's like, well, I got her
Smash
number
Brothers.
for. Yeah, it's like, well, how about you get the fact that works? I do not think that would work on Peach. I do not think that
You need to do
works.
it. You need to go through it and tell her and do that with her and then tell me how she thought about it. Just be like, this is what my buddy Hayden did. Or have her listen to it so I can have the whole inflection of it. And she just say, oh my God. She'll be like, I fell in love or that was the worst fucking thing I've ever heard.
It's so funny. I do annoying stuff all the time, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's why I knew I'd be able to talk about it. So that's why I kept more of it hidden, just because I knew you'd find it was funny that
It's
that's
so
how it
funny. I
started.
love it. It's so funny.
She's nice. She's nice. But like I said, I'm gonna be this right now. I'm 23 years old. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was one. I've dated moms before. Don't get me wrong. I've gone on dates with mom with a kid. Two, most is two, but four. Fuck. Well, she
Yeah.
did. She did.
Yeah. Like, it is. I don't want to get into it. I don't want
I
to
also
talk
thought of a
about.
joke. Dad, Hayden, Dad. Yeah, yeah, yes, adopted son. How do you treat mom? Oh, dude, I pull out Smash Brothers. We smash.
All right. You. All right. You're good. You're done.
Oh
You're.
my god. All right. So Danger, outside of all that, what is the media with you?
What's the media with me? I so about 3 weeks ago, yes, 3 weeks ago, a trailer was revealed for the announcement of the amazing digital circus, and it came out 2 days ago, and it's the pilot for it, and it's really good. I've not been interested in like any show, but like in a while. I've not been interested in any show. The digital circus is made by Glitch. So have you ever heard of SMG4?
Hold on. This sounds very, very familiar. I'm
There,
about to
have
look
you
it
ever
up.
heard of Murder Drones or Blade Runner?
The Digital Circus. The Digital. Oh yeah, this I just saw this on
Yes.
TikTok. I just saw
Yes,
it popped up on
yeah,
TikTok the other day.
it exploded. It has like over 5 million views. It has like 5.1 million views. 5.4. It had 5.1 million views like 3 hours ago. It has gotten like 3 million views in like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, yeah, it's really good. So it's made by Glitch. So here a little history. SMG4 is it was a YouTube channel, and when I watched it, I believe the very first video I watched was "Who Let the Chomp Out," and basically the best way I could explain it is imagine like Family Guy, but with it's like Family Guy but with Nintendo characters, and it was really fun. It was hilarious. But eventually they started doing like a bunch of lore and whatnot for their stuff,
Drawn
and
Together. Did you ever see the show Drawn Together?
you're on together. It
Drawn.
sounds from.
It
I haven't
was
seen it, but it sounds
It's a
familiar.
PG-13 version that has like a rip-off versions of like Betty Boop and stuff like that living together.
Okay. Oh, this. Okay. Yeah. No, I haven't watched this, but I have seen clips. Yeah. But anyway, um, honestly, actually, that's actually a perfect way of explaining it. Actually, is that, but not to that extent, not to that extent at all. But same context. But yeah. So they made it was a really great show, and I loved it. They had like War of the Italians every year. They had funny episodes. They started adding characters for lore. Started changing things. I thought it was great. But eventually, it started becoming very lore heavy, and like starting to watch it, like it was fun. But eventually, it kind of just died off for me. Well, I still jump in every now and then, but definitely don't watch SMG4 as much as I used to. Still great. Still think it's cool. SMG4, I think they're doing great. What was their names? I knew their actual names, and I actually watched their React channel. They had a React channel, and I remember I was there for the launch of it. But then I think they created Glitch Productions. I think, and then they had a show like Blade Runner. Then later Murder Drones. I think they had something actually before Blade Runner and Murder Drones, and now Digital Circus, which Digital Circus only is it like worked on by Glitch, but it's created by Gooseworks, which Gooseworks has also made some amazing things before, such as let me find the one video they made that got super popular. So they did two things that they're very well known for. Little Runmo, 29 million views from 3 years ago. Little Runmo. It's a 16-minute animation. And they also there was like a collaboration of Courage, like so it was like a Courage episode, but there was like a bunch of collaborators work together. It's like 26 or 27 different animators working on one episode or something, and they made one of the most iconic scenes in the whole episode. So they're
Return the
really good.
slab. Return the slab.
I
Return the
don't I
slab. You
I don't
said
think
courage.
so.
You said courage. I was imagining Courage the Cowardly Dog. But my media has been different. So I typically, whenever I say what the media people is video games. So I mean, I played a lot of video games, but for the first time in games and gamers history, I have not. One of my medias shall not be a video game. I Danger. If I ever told you, I like sad, depressing things.
I don't care about sad depressing things. I don't care about stuff like that, dude. One thing I will say, I mean, I'll let you go on to it before I steal your thing real quick. If I ever watch a film and at the very, it's like sad throughout the whole way, and then it's just sad the entire time. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. Even
You
if it's
should
like
watch the movie
I like
Marley and
bittersweet,
Me.
right? Bittersweet's fine. But whenever it's just pure sadness the whole time, it's nothing good at all. Every time something happens, it's just bad again. Hate those. Hate things like that.
There's a happy movie you should watch about a man who adopts a dog called Marley and Me. It's a very good,
I've heard
happy
of it.
movie. It's a happy, yeah.
I've heard
Owen
of it.
Wilson adopts a dog, gets married to I think Jennifer Aniston, and they have a dog named Marley that gets into all cute issues around the neighborhood. It's a good movie, Danger. You should go watch it.
I've heard of it. I've actually
But
maybe seen a clip of it.
But my media right now, I randomly in the past 2 weeks had an episode of BoJack Horseman pop up on my TikTok. Some clips of that, and I've been kind of getting into BoJack Horseman. And I've been watching BoJack Horseman. It's a Netflix show with Matthew Arnold. It's very sad and depressing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
I've been
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
it because I saw. I'd say I kept thinking about for people out there. I'm not going to spoil it in case Danger ever watches it, but I saw the. I kept thinking about those 17 minutes, and so I was like, "That's sad. I want to know more." So I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in right now.
Mm.
Then video game wise, I've been playing Resident Evil. Alien Isolation. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, I've played a game like an hour and a half of Dead by
We
Daylight.
played we played Dead by Daylight, and unfortunately, I mean, I went ahead and deleted the video.
Same. The
Yeah.
Devil
Well,
Within, House of
we do plan on playing it
Ashes,
again.
Tormented Souls. I've been playing Dead Space 2. I have played a lot, guys. I think I have an addiction to video games. I'm gonna have to stop games and gamers at the rate that this is going.
You don't need to stop games and gamers. You have a lot of. You were like set for life right now for games and gamers. You were set for the next 4 years. Honestly, your room alone is probably set for the next 4 years. Even at a fast rate that you're doing, 2 year.
I give
There's
it two.
no
If
way.
I sat
There's
down, like if I went back to be able to playing games 4 days a week, it would take 2 years probably to clear every game I have in here. Because remember,
man.
I'd be able to beat, like, there was 1 week I beat 3 games in a single week. So
Yeah,
I could.
you live alone, so you're able to just pretty good.
Maybe.
Whenever.
Who knows? I could have 6 people in this house come this time next year.
Who knows?
God,
But
I hope not.
Well,
don't get me wrong. She's sweet, but.
Oh, yeah, no. As soon as here's the thing, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why you did it, but you do you. But I don't even
Video
understand
games.
it. Word that I'm not gonna say because we're on screen. Not gonna say it.
I didn't realize I knew she had. The last time I saw her, I knew she had one kid. That's all I knew. I knew the one kid. Then I found out she had 3 others.
Anyway,
but yeah, my media consumption has been a lot of horror games. It's October. It's a time to play horror games. I've been doing a shit ton, and Subnautica. I've been doing a lot of Subnautica.
I've just been playing Resident Evil the whole time. Like anytime, I've just literally just hours at a time. Resident Evil, just day by day. We played Arctic Phone.
Yeah, the Arctic Phone was fun. Can't forget.
I played. Yeah. I streamed Fort Nightmares like when the day it started, but it didn't go too well. Spooky month, yeah, I played Overwatch. So I mean, yeah, there's a few things going on. I wanted to play another game for this. I mean, I'm not gonna say it yet, but I did want to play a game, but I unfortunately do not think I will be able to attend. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
We have something hilarious. We have something hilarious. If not.
If not, I mean, it'll work out either way. Either way, the channel's fine. It is just, will I be present? Is the thing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But it's fine. But I do want to talk about it. I mean, that's like off camera, but I want to talk about it.
But now that we got all that out of the way, where Danger played like 4 games, I played 40 yet again. It's time to go into Resident Evil. So people out there, we had the choice to play the original 1996 variant of Resident Evil or the 2002 remake that they came out with. And I opted just for Danger's sanity, thinking about how Silent Hill went with him. I chose a 2002 remake as opposed to the original. I would have preferred to play the original. Don't get me wrong. I can go play the original. I'm probably going to start it tomorrow, honestly. I'll go see the differences between. But I opted to go with this because Silent Hill, you know, Danger's biggest complaints was how it played.
That was one of my biggest, but there was a list of complaints about that game.
I mean, the tank controls were a big issue that you had, which I saved you. Remember, I saved you from that. Danger, tell me this. Had you not learned this? Danger, when he first started playing it, I watched his first episode, and he didn't know you could alternate controls made it to the 3D controls. So he's sitting there playing tank controls. And he didn't know you could run if you hold the X button while hitting up on the D-pad.
It's not the X button for me. It's the triangle button.
Oh, that's right. You're on PC.
I'm on PC, so I'm on PlayStation. So circle is like it's like basically the buttons are swapped. Like this is swapped with this and this is swapped with this. So it's very wonky for me while playing. So I mean, I've gotten used to it now, but everything by default goes off like Xbox controller, and when I have a PlayStation controller, it kind of just messes up like the thought process about it. But
so anyway,
it's whatever. I got used to it. But now when I play on PS5, now it messes me up because I've been locked in this room. I have been locked in this room playing Resident Evil for days, hours constantly. And so I am now used to circle button being the X and the X being the circle. And so when I go to PS5, I'm fucked.
And Danger has not left the room in exactly 72 hours.
I've
He has put
I've
out more
I've
episodes
left
of
the room.
Resident. He has not. There is a bucket behind him that has become his bathroom bucket. There is a pillow which he calls his best friend because he has not spoken to a single soul since Resident Evil has started. This is the journey of Danger Extreme.
I had a lot of fun with Resident Evil, but my goodness, dude, my life for the past like week has been it like I am either doing just basic chores, or I'm trying to fix something, or I'm like working on the channel, or I'm trying to make a thumbnail or art. I'm trying to schedule when Extreme Podcast is happening, or I'm trying to do something. Like I'm just constantly doing a thing after a thing after a thing after a thing. My sleep was messed up. And what did you? What happened? Okay, but anyway, a lot of chaos went on. A lot of stuff happened, and so I mean,
This
hopefully I
mic
should
is
be.
fucking amazing.
Huh?
You can't see it. I have OBS pulled up and I'm clicking. There's buttons on the back of this, and as I'm speaking right now, you can probably hear the clicking, right?
Yeah.
It's over here, stretched way far back, okay?
Yeah.
OBS picks this up from back here.
It sounds loud. Yeah, it's like a loud click. Yeah, it sounds loud.
Yeah, that's immaculate. Anyway, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm just.
Yeah, like this is pretty loud. Yeah.
I don't hear it.
I mean, you. Yeah, I mean, it's Discord's weird though. Here's the thing: it's Discord. OBS and Discord are very
Let's
different.
let you do it while you're talking. That way you can actually hear it in the background of it all. I can't. Excuse me. Hear it.
I can hear it just fine. It's whatever.
You can hear it in the same room as you.
Yeah, I can hear it, so that's all that matters. But okay. But yeah, so very tired. I think it's cool though. I think it's cool that I'm able to push through, and we did Plague Tale, and then now Resident Evil. And so hopefully I can do this for the next game that we work on, to where I can kind of, constantly getting it out. So at least it's like, hey, I may not be able to get it out immediately, but here's stuff. I'm shooting it. I'm trying to show that I can get it done. That way we can record this and we could do games and gamers. So that's at least the plan.
There's only one way to deal with this: murder everyone in your house.
No.
And then collect insurance and blame it on the dog.
No. Our dog is little. It is like a Chihuahua, but
you
worse.
You have a bigger dog.
Big. No, we don't.
You
we
had
have
two dogs, and the other dog was bigger.
Two very small.
Your other dog was puppy and was bigger than it was same size as the older dog.
Yes, both are small and annoying and weak.
Yeah, honestly, a small dog.
They're all bark. Yeah, they're all bark constantly. I'm going insane. Bark, no bite. That is all they are.
All right, now let's go into the game. And also at the ending of it, last one, I said the Arklay Mansion. I said that it was the Arklay Mountains and the Spencer Mansions. That's entirely on me. It's a lot of Resident Evil has a lot of stupid names. So we're going to start off the thing. Resident Evil talks about murders going on, a case of mysterious murder happening in the in the Arklay Mountains. So special teams and rescue squad stars are sent out to go take care of it. You have you have all in the helicopter stuff get dropped off, walking through these dark, creepy woods. You have the main characters of Wesker, Chris, Jill, and Barry. Walking on through these woods, they find a helicopter and they see a man who is from another STARS group, and they see he has been mauled. And as they walk further in, they then start getting chased by Zomdogs, known as Cerberus. To which you have, honestly, for the time, this is 2002, it doesn't look bad for 2002.
No, it looks great. Sounds good. For like it does
not say it sounds good. The voice acting is as bad as Silent Hills.
No, it's much better. It's so much
Jill,
better.
no. Don't do it. No, Jill.
No, I will say though, but it's from 20 years ago though.
I know.
but
I don't look at Final
it's
Fantasy
still,
X. That was a
dude.
year before it.
Last episode, I was like, oh yeah, like yeah, this game is pretty good for a game. It's 20 years old. Oh my god, I'm almost 20 years old. Like I had a crisis like while playing the game. I was like, man, this game's almost 20 years old. I'm almost 20 years old.
Danger, I'll tell you this right now. When it gets worse, whenever you start being able to talk about, oh, I remember that from 15 years ago.
Dude, gosh, what is it? One game became like 10 years old recently that I really enjoyed. I don't remember what it was, but man, I'd have to go figure it out.
PS4 is 10 years old.
Yes. I remember when that first came out. That was like
My
the
old
big thing.
girl still going strong. I got her fixed, so she's now going. My PS4 is back up and running. Not that I need her.
Nice.
Not she's deserved a rest. She deserves a rest.
Yeah, have you ever? You have a PS3 and a PS5, so I mean, there's no really reason to use the because all the PS4 goes to PS5. So I mean,
Yeah, I got a Here's the thing: I don't need a PS1 or 2 because my PS3 can play PS1, 2, and 3 games, and my PS5 can play PS4. But
yeah.
PS4 holds a very special place in my heart because she was the first console I ever bought with no help. $600 I spent on her, and it's sentimental. I legitimately cried whenever I unplugged it to plug my PS5 in. I'm not kidding. Like a single tear rolled down my cheeks. Like you fought so well for the past decade. You've done such a good job. I don't know if I want to actually do this. But you know what? You deserve a hell of a. I'm actually getting teary eyed right now because I'm remembering that moment. You deserve a rest for all the valiant work you've done, the many hours of games you've played. You deserve a rest, and I bid you a good night. And now PS5's here. Fucking massive monstrosity.
Dude, it's literally if you
so
took
fucking big.
it's almost as big as the PS5. I have the PS5 like okay, so literally to my left is the PS5, and to the right is the PC. It is almost as big as the PC.
It
like,
is. It's as big. My
when
Xbox One is sitting next to it, and it's this much taller.
When you're buying a PS5, it's like you're buying a PC. Like it literally, and even like the way it runs and everything, it's a PC. It's a PC.
Yeah, PS5. Did you see they're making a PS5 Slim?
I did see that. I
hope they make a PS5 short because that thing's so fucking tall.
Yes, the PS disc. It's just the size of holding a disc.
Yeah, depending on how I don't think it'll probably be the same price, but I might get a PS Slim.
Probably shouldn't, but it's entirely
I probably shouldn't. You're 100% right. I shouldn't. I just need one variant of each console. But I could get it as a gift. Am I going to? Probably not, because I'm stingy. I give people garage sale stuff. That's how stingy I am. I'm going to give my two nieces iPads that I got from a garage sale. But so continue on in all of this. We have they see a mansion, they start running from the Cerberus, and they make their way to a mansion. The opening of this game pisses me off. For the dumbest reason. Do you want to take a guess? We'll use Jill. Jill's story is mostly what pisses me off. Do you want to know why her game, her first little 2 minutes, pisses me off?
I'm not sure.
So, whenever they're running to the mansion, you have Wesker, Jill, Chris, and Barry.
Oh.
And for Jill's story specifically, you have maybe Barry's there. I don't know if Barry's there. Let's say he isn't, just for the sake of it. But you at least have Wesker, Chris, and Jill. You run with Jill's story, and you run to the mansion. They're all next to each other. They open the door.
Barry is there. All four of them are there.
Okay, so you have all four of them. And so I guess it goes for either one. I was thinking more of Jill just because like overall importance of the story of it all. But you have them run up. They're all open the door together. And somehow between those 2 seconds of door opens and door closes, Chris is gone.
Yeah,
Barry's gone. Yeah. That irks me. Because did he walk into a Scooby-Doo down a trap hole? Did he take a different door? They all were there.
I will say, out of everything there, Scooby-Dooing down a door is not the craziest thing.
I
Out of everything there.
The
You know
fucking
what?
Spencer Mansion.
Entirely, it could have been like, was just like, yes, my ultimate trap. And as they enter inside, it's like, goodbye. He pushes a button and then the carpet opens and it's a Scooby Doo door. It just whoa into the cell,
Yeah, I
all the
know.
way down to the
Of
basement.
all, like, it's a stupid intro just because it doesn't make a lick of
It's whatever. It's not the
sense.
craziest thing. I understand it. Obviously, I'm not saying that you're like, oh, like that's nitpicky little thing. I understand that
It's just
entirely,
so
but
fucking
it's
stupid.
it's
So then at this
it's
point,
it's stupid. It's whatever.
you're inside the mansion and you're trying. You have all these members. The last remaining three or four. It's four, but last three remaining stars members inside the mansion. Also, we're gonna do this a little differently because he played the Jill side. I played the Chris side recently. Go check out on both of our channels for his isn't done by the time this is up. I have the Chris side done. He has most of the Jill side up. He has what, 2 episodes left? 3?
I 3 or 4. When are you releasing this?
Tomorrow?
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, no. So
Yeah.
the final episode. Okay, I didn't know. I thought you were releasing like in a few days.
No, 2 weeks. It'll be tomorrow. Will
Okay,
be 2 weeks then.
okay. So the final episode will be releasing on the 18th.
Okay.
The 18th is when the final episode will
So
be.
go
Now
stay tuned.
On the 17th, whenever the second last one goes live, I'm gonna set the other one to like a premiere. I'm gonna try to start doing a thing to where like the last episodes I'll like premiere it within like 24 hours of. I'm not gonna set it as a premiere now, but like when it's the day of, I'll set it as a premiere.
Set it as a premiere now. That will let them know you finished the series.
No, I'm good. I'd rather. It's done. It's done. It's ready to go.
You have
It'll
that
be out
one
eventually.
fan. That one fan that's he's just sitting in the thing. Yeah. 72 hours from now. 36 hours
It's
from now.
it's still processing. It's still at 40 minutes. It's been
Probably okay.
processing for
You've
like.
been having issues. I wonder if that's probably the issue. Is every once in a while,
You know what? Maybe yeah, because it's got 40 minutes left.
So anyway, and when you go inside this mansion, you have Wesker, and if you're playing as Chris, you have Jill there with Chris, or if you're playing as Jill, you have Barry and Jill. And so they're like, go split up, check out the mansion. You go walking through the mansion. You have like a lot of the rooms are locked for the most. Like when you first go in, you can go upstairs. There's a 3-story mansion. Yeah, is it technically?
It's
It's a,
it's it's
it,
2 stories.
it's two
Well,
above than one below.
technically
Two above, one
3
below.
because there's
Yeah.
no, well no because there's also when you go higher to where there's all those nights and whatnot. Remember, there's like the night puzzle.
Yeah.
So there is
3.
like an attic room thing.
Yeah, 3 stories. It's a big mansion, big fucking mansion, big stupid unnecessary mansion.
Yeah, it's massive.
So they go split up, and you walk into a dining hall. You find your first time with save points. Save points in this game are a lot different than most modern games, where you have a limited amount of saves for the entire game. You have these things called ink ribbons. You get them in bundles of 1, 2, or 3, or if you're lucky, you can find one of a bundle of 6. And you use these because you use these to save. So if you have if you only find 3 ink ribbons, you have 3 saves the entire game. And I'm a big fan of that because that's resource management to a very high degree.
It adds a level of
Strategy.
like yeah, strategy, but also it's like it's not horror, but it's like intimidation of you only have so many that you can use. Here's the thing: I'm a person. Any game where you can, games typically you save infinitely. I always double save to make sure that it's fine and nothing bad happens. It's a habit, like from Wii games, Xbox, PlayStation. Anytime it's happened on every single console, to where I don't double save, and I'm just like, it's like, oh, saved, it's good, and then something happens. So I typically always double save. This game doesn't let you do that. So I would save about every 30 minutes.
Oh,
And
it
there's maybe
does. It'll let you double save, but only a certain amount of
it
times.
yeah, it will. That's what I'm saying. You used up a lot of saves.
Yeah.
What I did is I would typically save about every 30 minutes, and there's maybe only 2 situations where I would save, then save only like 5 minutes later. It would literally be just because I like got like 5 things, and I'm like to a closer section, so I'll go ahead and save here just to save time. But I mean, I don't know, I had like a rule where it's like if I had like only like 2 or 3 left, then I'd try to last longer before I saved again. But as soon as I get like 7, I'm saving every like 5 minutes.
But so after you walk into this dining hall, you walk into another room, and we have, I want to say it's a very iconic gaming scene from either the original or the 2002 remake. You walk into a hallway and you see the zombie eating a person, and he turn with its dead eyes. I want to say that's one like you said, like I think that's an iconic gaming scene. Like I've known about that for a
Yeah,
long time, even without playing it.
yeah, I've seen that for a long time, and whenever I saw it, I was like, ooh, again, it's not my very first reaction to that. My mic wasn't on. The footage exists of me saying it, but there was no mic. Um, but yeah, no, I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, like this scene, like this is the thing. I went into Resident Evil 1 almost completely unspoiled. So I think that was super cool. I think that like that's the only game I think that I've been like completely unspoiled about at all.
Black Tiger, more Neptune.
I hate you.
What turned into an accidental typo became a tormented soul for Danger.
I was like, obviously it's gonna mean something. No, no, no.
No, it meant something.
I will say one thing. Love the map of this game.
Oh
Like
yeah, the
everything,
mansion. The mansion is
everything. The
fun.
mansion, the courtyard, the down, the lab. Like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is super cool in this game. This game utilizes going back and forth so much, so it makes the map seem bigger. The map's hard. It is a decent sized map, but because you're traveling so much, it's what makes the game last so much longer because you can go back and forth and like to the left side of the mansion for a minute, then the right side, then you go to the left and figure out something on the right, then you go back. It's like I gotta find something, and then you go look around. It's like I need this from this side, and so it takes a while, but I mean it's cool. It makes a game that where it's a small, basically all in all, while it's small, there's a lot there, and so I think it's super cool. They managed to compact it pretty well, and I think it was super sick.
Oh yeah, it's a very well done game for being like this is the remake of the original 1996 version. It's
Yes.
6 years later, so it has a lot of new stuff added.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you fight this. You shoot this guy. They don't know what's going on. He falls after you shoot him. Like I want to say, at least okay for Jill's side, you more or less have to use almost an entire clip on him. For Chris's side, you're given only a knife. Like you have to kill it with a knife, which is annoying.
Here's the thing: do you have to kill it, or can you just run away? Because Barry shoots it immediately. That's
No,
one thing
you
I noticed. Whenever I was playing, right, I played and I shot at him, and as soon as I left, I was like, "Oh wait, he's still following me. Could I have just turned around and run to Barry and not have to use a single bullet? Could I have just done that?" I never tested it because I didn't die. I was like, if I die, I'll test it, but I don't think I'm going to bother. But I think you could literally just leave the room and Barry shoots him. So the
let's
zombie gets back
see.
up again. The zombie's like, oh, they're down. And the zombie
Yeah,
gets back
you
up.
don't have
So
to. You don't have to.
yeah.
Just run back to
This was
Barry
like
and he will kill
I
him.
didn't realize that until afterwards because you go into the. Also, I think it's funny that the zombie gets up and instead of going back to attack again, he leaves. He's the first intelligent zombie. He's like, I gotta get out of here.
I oh no, that thing's
Because you
terrifying.
hear the door
Because
shut. Yeah, it's horrifying. One again,
that's
this
the
game.
toughest zombie in the franchise. Because
Yeah,
he
it's
took
just a
like
regular
three.
zombie.
He took 15. Let's say you shoot him. He took 15 handgun things and like 12 stabs with a knife and then 3 shots with a magnum.
And then still got up and walked away.
He's like,
And then also
ugh.
still had the intelligence like, all right, I gotta go. And then he goes back for more. Yeah, it's pretty.
Let's say it's a fun fact. We never saw that one again. He just ran off. He's sitting
He
in the
just ran.
woods.
Yeah, he just because there's like a window that goes to the outside. He just ran into the room and just ran out the door. He's like, I'm out of here. Just gotta go.
No, honestly, I want to say it. I feel like if he's anyone, he's that one that was sitting in the downstairs area. That was man. This one's been dead for hours.
Dude, I remember going down there and seeing that body. I was just like, you better not move,
He never moved.
like
He never got
ever.
up.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He got up. There's because there's one time
There
like
are
I go.
3 zombies that are in that room, and whenever the hunters come in, his
Are you talking about on
body
the?
vanishes.
Are you
It's
talking about? Yeah,
the
it vanishes. Yeah,
downstairs part with the
yeah.
right
Where
next
there's
to
an
it.
item right next to the item box. Yeah, I go around and he's just gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he
He's
just
like
despawns
somewhere.
pretty much. He's not. He's gone.
Mm.
You don't
I
kill
thought it
him.
was. Oh, okay, I thought it was like he got up at some point. He was just somewhere.
Nah,
Dude,
he was playing
yeah,
dead the
it's
whole time. It's like, man, they've walked in this room like 10 times. I gotta get out of here. So anyway, after that, you make your way back to the main area or we make it to the next area where whoever's there will save you by shooting will shoot the zombie. And then it's like, okay, there's shit going wrong in this house. And then you get more or less chance to start exploring the house. You want to make Wesker. You can't find Wesker for one, and who do you can you not find for? You can't find Wesker either way. Yeah, at the beginning, if you're just Chris, Jill, and Chris try and find Wesker, you can't find him. If you're Jill, Jerry, Jill, and Barry try to find him, and you can't find Wesker. They start exploring the house, and they're like, okay, after they can't find him, we need to split up. Horrible idea, but we need to split up and see if we can find him. So
Oh
it's
yeah, hearing
Jill.
like, oh, we gotta split up and search around. It's like two of y'all already went missing. Like two of y'all
Somehow.
already went missing, and you're a police force. Like you're supposed to be, you're more of like a military group type thing. But yeah, you're supposed to be together and what. Especially that there's these zombie things going around. Like go around and just take them out quickly, and you're good. Even with two knives is better than one.
And then at this point, you are now given somewhat free range to go explore the mansion. So,
After you're first given like a pocket knife thing to open doors.
well, no, that you already have. That Jill always kind of has that. That's her special item. Chris has it
Yeah,
later.
but Barry gives it to her. I'm
It's
pretty
special.
sure.
It's useless. Like 90%.
It is. You use it like maybe 3 times. You use it like maybe three or four
There's
times.
3 for the entire of it that you can really use it on.
Yeah. Is it because like only she can access those rooms? Like,
no,
that what the difference
Chris,
is?
Chris can access the rooms. He just has to have little.
Then what's the point? It's a little, and it's just that just means it's a little something. Okay, you know what it is? It's that you're not supposed to access those rooms until he gives it to you. It's a way that you don't keep going, I guess.
No. He gives it like once you're actually done. I know what you're talking about. Once you're done in there, he gives it to you no matter what. Like
But that's what I'm saying. But it's like for you to continue going, you're basically forced to go into that little room because if you try to go anywhere else, it won't let you. But once he gives you the thing, then you have the ability to. That's probably what it is, like a key item for you to. Okay, now you can go explore.
Technically,
That's
technically
probably
not.
what it is.
Technically, there's like
You could complete the game without even going in the room.
Well, I mean, there are some of the rooms that you like. Chris is given little keys, like little stone keys that it's a one-time use and unlock it. Then the keys, the doors where Jill would do the thing. That's it. The only difference is how they dispose of stuff. Like Chris has a lighter, so whenever you have the flask, you don't need to have 2 spots for burning zombies. You only have to have one. Jill can do that as opposed to needing this extra slot to open a door. She can open any door she wants theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
But you get more or less free range to go explore the house. Free reign to go explore the house to as far as you're able to. You start exploring the house and realizing every fucking door is locked. Like,
yep.
And it's not just, oh, I need a key. I need helmet key. I need armor key. I need foot key. I need sword key. I need emblem key. There are just so many fucking keys. It's ridiculous the amount of keys.
And I made it my mission to collect every single key and put it along in a row inside of my item box.
That means you did not. Did you? So you didn't discard them, or did you not use?
I didn't dispose of them.
Okay.
I didn't dispose of them. That's the thing. I would use their use, and as soon as I get the message, do you want to dispose? I'd say no and run to the item box to put it away. I don't confuse it that I need it anymore.
I would. Oh, I tossed it.
I didn't toss a single one. My box has like 12, 13 keys in it. I have like 3 residents, one of like a full set of armor. I have the laboratory one. I have a bunch. I have a bunch of them.
That is a waste of space.
Waste of space of an item box of like 500 items when you
waste of space. There's a finite amount of spaces in that box.
There's a lot of space that will never even be used. They gave you enough space for 5 playthroughs and on one box.
It's finite.
It's weird. He goes, seeing all that space, I was like, man, there's gonna be a lot of stuff for us to collect in this game. Oh no, you use it all.
But you more or less, then you start exploring the house, and it's just exploring. Like for a while, you're just kind of figuring out keys, getting keys that you can, opening doors, killing zombies along the way, and kind of learning a little bit more about the base mansion, you learn that this was, after a while, that there was some virus that got leaked into the place. We don't know enough about it. As you're like have your first set of keys, you go behind the house, you find a place with a death mask. It's like a sarcophagus or a metal coffin that has special little demon guy in it that you can take on. And after a while, you just kind of get the house cleared out. Once you get everything you can, which is kind of annoying because the game has its own weird functionality of it. So if you've never played a Resident Evil game out there, you can pick up items. It's like how we could with Silent Hill. You can pick up an item, you had an inventory slot for it, and the characters there's a finite amount of space that characters have. He played as Jill, so he had 8 spots. I played as Chris, and I had 6 spots. You pick up an item as a key item, and then you have to like examine the item in order to fully utilize some of the items. Like there's an arrowhead. You get an arrow from one of the things that you have to examine and pull the arrowhead off, and then you can use it as a key. Books, you have to open it. You have to turn to the pages and open the books in order to get the things from there, which are crests, keys, whatever you want to get out of it. It's random stuff you get out of it. It's not random stuff. It's stupid things you get out of it. So I guess, and also it's a very short game out there, people. It's a very short game. We both spent a decent amount of time on it. It's been a while since I played it, and Danger's first time playing it, so we spent a good amount of time on it. But this game can be beaten 2 or 3 hours, like
Yeah.
Silent Hill. It can be beaten a very, very short time.
Like so literally what happens like I'll be playing for like 25 minutes and then I'll end up like dying and I get back to where I am or where I was in like 10. So it's like once you know what you're needing to do, like once you know what the puzzles do. Now there are some sections that are just annoying and it's just a skill issue at that point where it's like, oh, I can't beat this little bit so quickly, but pretty much throughout the game, once you know what you're doing, it's a pretty quick game, but it's the lack of knowledge of what you're supposed to do, puzzles, all these things that makes it a longer game, which I think is really cool. It makes a very short and small game in comparison to other games out there feel so long and massive. It's this little like illusion trick. And I think it's really cool. And I love the game. And another thing is like the atmosphere. The atmosphere makes it feel like you entered a completely different domain. You literally went in one room over. You're in the same place, but the music going away, the silence, the camera change, there may be the slightest of a flicker, the color, the whole color scheme changes. Like for some of the rooms because it's just different lighting, different walls, different bunch of stuff. And then you take 2 steps forward, right off camera, there's a zombie standing right in front of you. And this happens more than once. And so there's a lot of cool. There's one really cool room where you enter the room and like you it's like your camera, right? You know, like there's zombies off camera, but there was a mirror and you could see the zombie in the mirror.
That's like the third room in the thing. That's where you go up the stairs. Yeah.
I'm not talking about that room, but yeah, there's another one of those as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a yellow room.
No, there's no. I know what you're talking about, but there's another room downstairs on the right side of the map where there's a massive just wall mirror. There's like a mirror the size of the wall.
Oh.
There's like a red curtain room.
Yeah, I know which one you're. I thought you mean like more of the hidden one, like because you.
I know that one too. Yes, that one too. Yes, but that one, and dude, it's so narrow. Like it's a narrow hallway, and then it's like off view.
Also, dude, speed run for this game. This game can be beaten in an hour and a half.
Jeez.
So that's why this is not going to be a long. We're here an hour. We got to have our like 2-hour episodes, but we're gonna once we really start getting to the meat of things, we're gonna be kind of cooking on through.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have me flying through this game because it's not that big of a game. Again, like once you know what you're needing to do, it's pretty quick. It's very fun. It's a very fun game, honestly. Mm-hmm. If it's a game you want to enjoy, this is going to sound very weird to say, but it's a pretty casual game. Like you can enjoy it. You can sit down and enjoy the game. Reason I say it's a pretty casual game. It's really fun and it's really cool. It's got a bit of a scare factor to it. It does. There's times where I freaking like my body takes a screenshot, but it's not a super hard and complicated game. Like it's like once you like investigate things for a bit. Now I'm saying this and I'll make 10 sections, like 10-minute sections last 30 minutes because I don't know what it is. But also when I don't know what it is, I'm just sitting there kind of thinking about it. Like it's not like I'm being pressured. Oh, there's a zombie every 5 minutes. Once you get rid of a zombie, they're gone. And so you can focus on way you want to play of, do I want to run around? Do I want to eliminate all the zombies? And also the game gives you a lot of supplies. Like I was like very like trying to be very careful with the supplies that I had. I played on medium difficulty, by the way. So I'm pretty sure there's the three different modes: easy, medium, hard. I played on medium, and the game gave me plenty of supplies to like last through the game, ammo, healing, kind of trying to point me in the right direction. It did pretty well on that, and so it's just parts where I got confused and didn't know what to do. There's one section disagree with that, but that's later in the game. We'll get there when we get there.
And like
But
I would argue that it's not a casual game,
it's it, it's
just
it's
because
not
of
extremely casual, but
how you have to play it. Because this game is not Silent Hill. I will say Silent Hill is more of a casual game than Resident Evil. You will argue it, but it's because the way you play the game. Because Resident Evil has a lot of item management.
you know what? I'll agree with that. I'll agree with the Silent Hill one
It
because
has
you're just running 90% of the game. You're just running.
it has because Resident Evil has a lot of item management. Like I said, you have limited space. If you can't go pick up a thing, you have to go back.
All the way back.
And
Yeah.
then and like I'll say if it's the original one, ammo is a lot more scarce according to my dad in the original one. So
Mm.
it's a lot more casual. It's not as casual because you literally have to be more strategic in how you play it. Because like how Danger did in the Silent Hill one, made it to the final boss with hardly any ammo. You can do that in this game, but you have no give in this one. You make it to the end low ammo, you are fucked. So that's why I'd say Silent Hill. I'm not even loving on Silent Hill. I have my complaints about Silent Hill. Don't get me wrong. I've even played it again between episodes. Not this one and the last one, but I've played it again. It has its complaints, but it's done better. I say that's more casual.
I will disagree with that because almost every time you go into a fight, it gives you ammo. Almost every single time you
Oh,
go into a fight.
I know.
And
It depends.
also,
It also, I'm saying it depends. Like I'm thinking on both spectrums because I'm going like
yeah.
our game. We have it. It's easy to save ammo because they've changed percentages rounds on how fast you can kill enemies for one. But then two
Mhm.
at the exact same time, we also are given different enemies. So it all depends on how you can play it. So if you have a new
Yeah.
casual player, let's say someone who's never played it before, they can struggle with it. I know you died quite a bit. I say quite a bit. I know you at least died three
I
times in like the first two episodes.
in Resident Evil. Oh yeah, no, I did a few times. The first episode I did like a few times because I was trying to figure out the controls. Well, then I figured out later on there are sections where I died to where like there was one thing where the hunter like they like one shot me. I was completely fine with it. So I guess there's like a crit like they also have a critical hit system, I guess.
I think so.
So yeah, like how we have the headshot system, they can do that as well. So that and then also whenever I got so another thing way later in the game, but I'll talk about it later. But there are a few times where I died to where I didn't even think I would, and I
Yeah,
just
like I
died.
said, it's I'll say Resident Evil's definitely on like at least on the item management game, it's more casual compared to others. But I'm not gonna call it a casual game. It's
It's
probably
more casual. It's
you'd have to be.
more.
It's a somewhat experienced game. You have to be a somewhat experienced gamer in order, I say, to play
I
this.
guess yeah. To be fair, I've seen and played quite a few video games, so I guess I already because I guess yeah. Because then I was like looking at the level. I was like, oh, this probably this and this and this is gonna happen, and most of the time, almost every time, this and this and this happened.
Yeah,
I'm going to this game completely unspoiled, and I already like kind of tell what's going on. So I guess yeah. I want to. I guess if you're going to like someone who doesn't play video games,
yeah.
you can't really do that. Yeah, I
Like
guess yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a whole different thing. So
Yeah.
after that, you make your way after a lot of exploring. You make your way back, and I believe you find another one of the members, and then they're like, "Huh, I can't find anybody." Huh. And then it's more or less this whole game is a shit ton of exploring the mansion. I'm trying to remember all the story beats, but they happen so far between each other, technically speaking,
Yeah.
that it's easy to forget a lot of it. Like you meet Barry a couple times, it helps with stuff. You meet actually as you're going through the mansion, you begin to figure out more about like so there's a virus that's been released. There's some laboratory hidden somewhere. You also find out that there is some, like there's other stars members that have been here before, which leads into Resident Evil Zero, which we will eventually play.
At some point, yeah. I want to try to slowly get all the titles of Resident Evil off.
If Hayden has a preference, the next Resident Evil game we're gonna play is indeed gonna be Zero, but it all depends on how the world works.
Well, it depends on how the world works. We'll see.
It all depends on a thing called DangerCash. But so more or less, you got exploring and you start finding more people in there. You have the game gives you immediately out of the gate a gun for Jill and a knife for Chris. Once you go fight your first zombie, Jill's is given the lockpick set, and Chris is given the gun. And then just exploring the house. The house is full of ungodly amounts of puzzles. For if you really think about it, anybody who lives there, no damn reason. Like I made the
Uh,
joke. I made the joke
go
in
ahead.
my playthrough of what if someone needs to go to the bathroom? And it's like
You
awful.
bet. You better hope you know how to solve a Rubik's cube, buddy. Because if you don't, you're going outside. You, you
It's
better hope
like
you know how to solve it, dude. Imagine, dude. Okay, imagine like a doorknob, but it's a Rubik's cube, and after you use the doorknob, it like remixes itself, and you have to solve the. You have to solve the Rubik's cube to turn the doorknob. That'd be insane. That'd be mind-boggling.
it's a white floor, and right outside the bathroom door, you just see like a brown stain that's on the
They lost the game.
oh no, it looks like it's happened more than once. Like it's just a fuck.
Jeez.
It's like, man, this stain looks like it's exactly 82 years old. I wonder why. Wait, I gotta
How would you have
shit.
a dude? That video game logic of just perfectly guessing how old it is, just
I
because.
mean, Danger.
Man,
Some
this
of them.
body looks like it's been here for like 10 weeks.
Well, I know some. It's weird, but I'm trying to. I'm trying to think of how it all is. Like, there's not a lot to really talk about, like overall exploring the mansion, because it's just go do a puzzle here. You fight bosses in the mansion. As you go exploring, you at least find like another group. You find you as you explore the
Find
mansion.
Richard.
Well, you find Richard, and I think it's Barry for you, and it's Rebecca for me, right?
I yes, I believe so. Yeah,
So you go
like,
explore.
yeah, because yeah. Because
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. We
and
yeah, we literally only meet Richard, and then we meet one other character later on towards the end of the
Eduardo.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. As you basically you go more exploring, you find Richard. Richard's in like a weird part that he's talking about something like there's something big. It got me. He's poisoned. Go get serum. And if you already have the serum on you, you can save him. Otherwise, he dies. He can indeed die.
Mm.
And then as you go through that, after you do that, you end up finding a key that allows you to go into a room to where you can fight your first boss after you do all the house exploration. Like I said, we can go into detail on the puzzles, but at that point we're just literally stretching it. It's like the Plague Tale. Whenever we did Plague Tale, we just stealthed our way
Mm.
around. We could go
Yeah.
into literally details of it, but I
there
don't.
there are like puzzles that I do want to mention that are super cool, but I don't want to mention every
Yeah,
single puzzle in the yeah. But I'll mention some of like the ones that I think are really cool in the game that I really liked.
and like I'll say that there are very few that I really say that like wow puzzles, like the
Mm.
V Jolt. V Jolt puzzle because I love that one because
Yeah.
here's the funny thing about it, Danger. You looked at the wall. I forgot that was there. I did it all with my noggin.
Jeez. Dude, I looked at it. I was like, okay, there's the wall. That's that. I was like, I gotta make these numbers up. I was like, all right, let me fix this. Let me get this done. Then that, yeah, that was definitely one of the better puzzles in the game.
And so after you do this, you go fight a massive, 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 massive snake known as the Yawn. The yawn gives you poison effect, and this is the first time you're introduced to poison in the game, which will slowly drain your health until you death. Which is all sorts of great. My cat is sprawled out big time.
Minion, minion shout out. There he is.
We always got a minions
I
member.
told you every episode, every
Minions a
episode.
member of games and Minions a member of games and gamers. We always got we always got to mention. I love this cat. He loves me. So anyway, after you fight this yawn, he escapes out, and you go find Barry and or Rebecca, depending on the playway. And they start kind of explaining more of what's going on. Rebecca, you realize she's been there for a while, events of Resident Evil Zero. We're not going to go into spoiling anything like that. I could. We're not going to because it's an entirely different game. And this man over here has not played it. So, zip.
I'm on the opposite side for you.
You are not for me. You are
This man on that side.
that man right there.
That man over there.
I'm still debating on painting this all black, so I just have fucking Amicia's face staring from a fucking
That'd be funny, but you would be doing that for a single bit. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but
it wouldn't be
it's a lot of work.
If we get this podcast thing done right, we have our cameras up, you'll just see her face staring at every episode in the darkness. It's like
hopefully we'll try it out next time. Next time we'll try it out.
Well, next time we do something, we're at least gonna fuck around and get it. Try and fuck around with it anyway.
Here's the thing: we'd have a 2-hour limit though, so we would not be able to go anytime we've ever gone higher than that. We can't do that. So, it would encourage a time limit to the channel.
Yeah,
encourage a time limit
since you make the longest episodes known to man.
Yep.
And only you. I certainly don't have an episode that's the longest episode on all of it.
We're literally, as we speak, gonna go low real quick. You keep going with the game real quick. I'll be over here.
I have the longest episode. You
You
have the second longest episode. Did you know that? So anyway, after you fight the you are given more or less access to more parts of the house and keep going more. So and you start, like I said, learning more about it. Like you learn about the laboratory that's going on, how there was an outbreak that happened of a new thing called of a virus. We don't know the name of the virus. You run into Wesker another time or two, as then you finally make your way outside of the house, because the house has multiple portions to it. You have the mansion itself, you have the court, we have a little backyard graveyard area. Do you see the 5-hour video we have?
Yeah, I did not realize it was 5 hours.
Yeah.
Also, so then wait.
Spider-Man's second.
No.
Yeah, it should be 3 hours.
Plague Tale is.
Is it?
Spider-Man 3 hours and 17. Plague Tale's 3 hours and 32.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's longer by like 15 minutes.
Damn.
Yep, you got the 2 longest ones.
Oh man, that's okay.
Yep. Wasn't this a Wait, hold on. Last thing I remember is you were like, well, your episode is long. You got long episodes. They're the longest. Now look at you. 2 folds. You were complaining that mine were the longest. Now look at you.
All right. Well,
lived long enough to become the villain.
We'll wait for you to go have another actual
10-hour episode.
We'll wait for you to have an episode again.
Well, like extended 6 hours talking about Mario 64. Gosh, no, I don't even want to joke about that. No,
we're not talking about Mario 64 for a long time.
No, Mario 64. No, Mario 64.
Not at least in season 1 of Games and Gamers.
No. Yeah, Mario. We talked about Mario Odyssey. That's enough Mario for now.
You gotta have 1 Mario per season.
We do. That's a rule. That is a DangerXtreme rule. Nope.
No, it's a Hayden rule right now. It really depends, because I'm thinking I may pre-order Mario RPG and possibly Wonder, just so I can see how bad it's gonna be.
Bad? I don't think you mean bad. I think you mean good.
I'm gonna. Like I said, Mario games, the platformers like that are not my forte. I don't find them fun.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
RPG though, I'm genuinely wanting to play.
RPG is fun. Now, I would say one thing is RPG is genuinely known, not genuinely, generally. Well, I guess genuinely as well. Generally known as one of the most fun Mario games that almost unplayable, and a lot of people have played it. A lot of people have enjoyed it, and it's pretty cool. It's a different take and spin off Mario, and so it did really well, and is over $100.
Yep. And Hayden here is an RPG fanatic, so you're gonna see me with like fucking 400, if I like it, like 300 hours into it. Every character's maxed as best as they can absolutely be.
I'm excited for it. I'm so excited for it.
And you know what? When it comes out,
Mario fans were eating.
How about that? Also the thing right here on Games and Gamers for KH Hauser. I shouldn't be doing this, but let us know if you want. Maybe I'll do. Maybe if Danger can get a hold of RPG, we can both do series on it.
I can't. I need a capture thing. I want to do Switch games so bad.
Get your hands on it. So that means
the
entirety. Fine.
Entirety thing. It's not going to be a thing that I can do, unfortunately.
Maybe. I'm debating on getting a new capture card whenever I get a new thing. So whenever I do, I'll send you my old one.
Alrighty.
I don't know when that's going to be, but it'll eventually happen.
Eventually.
But anyway,
And
yeah. Like, that's my plan right now. I'm going to be getting that and Alan Wake. Like, there's like a few games coming out in the next few months I'm excited for. I'm even
something that's funny. Going from where we started, like basically from where we started to where we just ended, like last about Resident Evil, we skipped like 5 episodes on my channel. We just went because again, there's a lot of it which is like puzzles, looking around, going back and forth.
Resident Evil. The biggest reason it takes so long is a lot of walking back and forth. That's 100% a fact. Like if you know what you're doing, hour and a half, 2 hours.
It works. It's a working formula. It makes the game feel like it's way longer than it actually is.
Yeah, a lot of the Resident Evils you can beat in quick time. Like Resident Evil 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know about 5 and 6, but I know like a lot of them you can beat in like 2 hours if you know what you're doing.
Yep.
Maybe not.
I think 4. It's really cool.
Maybe not 4. I want to say that one. Look for me on the speed run on that. Por favor. But like
speedrun. All right, I'm on.
So as you're looking, so after you fight the Yawn, start exploring more. Like I said, you have the ability to figure out that well, you learn virus is broken out, and you kind of exploring more. You explore more. You go behind the house, find courtyards. You find cabin. You find by far one of the creepiest fucking things I've seen in a video game. Lisa Trevor.
Lisa Trevor. Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'll say this right. I'll say the name right now. It's a lady in like what do they call stockholds? Stocks?
Maybe the thing is like wooden handcuffs.
Wooden handcuffs that used to be like the stockholds back in the older days. And like kind of hunched over like Quasimodo, weird like skin face, leather face on. Now chases you and is immortal. Sad fact, she's immortal, Danger.
Man.
Yeah, sad fact.
That's dude. Yeah, I remember reading the thing, like I remember reading the note that I picked it up from the what do you call it? The printer. There was like once you go to the printer, it's like, oh, there's a note there. And I even like one of the things I predicted a lot of things in this game. I like entered the cabin. I was like, there's an item box and a save. Thing is though, there's there is no music. I bet you something can get me in here. Little did we know. So
then you just hear the door thwunk.
Yeah, I hear the door open and I see nothing. I'm like, oh.
Like she has I feel super bad. Like Danger, what we need to do one day, like season 2, is just like video game characters we feel bad for.
You know what? That'd actually be very interesting. That'd be a very interesting one.
Like we'd have some very different ones, and I'd have some really, really hot takes. Because
I already thought of one. Immediately.
I feel bad for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Why? Why did you feel bad for him?
Because he has the dubious honor of being the worst game I've ever played.
Greatest is the word you're looking for. No. I know you haven't read a dictionary in a bit. I'm sure.
No,
but the
worst.
Greatest.
He has the
best.
Honest distinction, the dubious dishonor of being the worst video game
greatest
I've ever played.
That you wish you could play again.
I haven't even beat it. I don't want to.
I have beaten it twice, I think.
I need to. The fact that
I beat
broken.
Sonic twice, I beat Shadow, I beat Silver, and I beat the final thing.
It's 2 players?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would have wanted to play this with a friend?
Here's the thing, it's not story mode though. It's like a duo mode. It's like its own thing. It is 2 players, but like not story mode. Me and my brother played it. Yeah, me and my brother would play it, and we found some like glitches you can do, and so we'd go like out of bounds in different locations and stuff. It was very fun. I respect it.
I shall not. I spent money on it. I have an opinion.
Oh, to answer your question, Resident Evil 4, 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 47 seconds.
Fuck, really?
So literally in less than 2 hours. Barely, but it's still less.
Well, Jesus Christ, and fuck me on a motorbike. Okay.
According to speedrun.com, it's a full 10 minutes faster than the previous world record. That was this year.
Fuck.
Okay, but
Okay,
is
you
it
know what?
oh, well? Okay, is this the remake? If this is the remake, then yeah, of course it was this year. But can I click on this article? So it's talking
And
about the newest one.
while you look,
Okay, all right. Then yeah, that's why it's this year. Okay, it's talking about the newest one.
okay, that makes that one kind of makes sense in the same way. But anyway,
Yeah.
after you go exploring this and you start finding more parts. You find yourself a courtyard that allows you to kind of go exploring to another part. And like I said, you get access to it. The whole point of this game is one, you figure out what the fuck's going on. Two, you just get access to more rooms. Like
Mhm.
I can give you 10 sentences and tell you the entire story of Resident Evil. I'll do it later. But anyway, after you do all this stuff, find Lisa, learn more about it, learn about the virus, the T virus, which is what this is. That's kind of fucked around. You go back to the mansion, and you also learn of a traitor in the group. Ooh, there's a traitor. Who could it be? It could be anybody. And I had a theory because I had never actually played. I mean, I kind of knew, but at the same time, I didn't. The game, at least in the Jill run, makes it very sketchy on who the traitor actually is. And the Chris run, you see one character that's not Chris, and that's Rebecca. Like 90% of the time, you see Wesker twice, which is kind of sad because Wesker's actually a really cool villain, especially in later iterations.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's really sick.
He is. I like Wesker. He's gonna go down as one of my favorite most I don't know favorite villains, but he's gonna go down as villains.
Iconic.
As villains I'm gonna remember.
Yeah.
My own iconic list. It's like here's Wesker, who's above him. Everybody else. Here's Mephiles. You better appreciate that, Danger. Do you know what Mephiles is?
Yeah. You're talking about the Sonic villain, right?
Yep, the ripoff
Yeah.
of Shadow that I've seen once.
Great.
And the only reason I remember him because he has a weird fucking name
Yep.
and no mouth.
Yep. No mouth. Weird look.
So
Definitely very interesting approach for the
so
character,
right
especially if you
now
know how Shadow was made.
So right now we're about halfway through the game, technically speaking. We really haven't talked a whole lot of the game, but the issue is we can once we really
You kill
start talking.
zombies. You walk around, you kill zombies, you solve a puzzle,
Yeah,
solve a riddle, combine something, put something together. There's not really too much too interesting in the game.
until later. Like once you
Like
really
okay, let me rephrase by the way. Not that there's not anything too interesting. It's just it's a lot of the same thing, slightly different. And
it's a
so
lot
it
of
is
build up.
different.
It's a
It's a
lot of
lot
build
of
up because you have to
lot of
read
build up.
notes. The notes like this game has notes that you read that help you build up the story to kind of what's actually happening. Like cutscenes are very. Did you do me a favor and look up all Resident Evil
Yep,
2000
I
all
will
the
give you a time.
cutscenes?
I will give you a time. Yep.
I want to say it's probably like 30 minutes at most. Probably 30 at
Okay, at
most.
most. Okay. All right. I was about to say like I don't think it's even that. Resident
Because this
Evil.
game does not have a lot of cutscenes to it. It's literally here's a cutscene like maybe last 2 or 3 minutes. Some of them are like 4 or 5.
Full movie. Resident Evil movie. Hold on. No saying movie. Is this every cutscene? No, that has gameplay. Okay. So by movie, it's like they play the game as well. Um, all cutscenes. We are looking at. No, that's all possible alternative.
43 minutes.
Okay, I'm trying. Oh wow! All right, that's amazing.
Yeah, this game has 43 minutes of cutscene, and so that really, and that's scattered throughout because you have end credits, you have the opening bit, which is like 5 minutes or so of it. So you do that right there, that takes out 10 minutes, leaving 30 minutes mixed into it. Then you have longer scenes, like later on in the game, you have like a little 4 minute cutscene that happens with Wesker. You have another one at the end that's like 2 minutes. It's a lot of just scattered cutscenes, and they're like a minute or two increments. But to be fair, this is a 1996 remake game.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got halfway through the game. We've fought the yawn. We've made our way outside the mansion. We've seen Lisa Trevor. And what do you? I'll go my thoughts on what are you thinking so far of what we've actually ran into so far. Since we've ran into puzzles, we've seen enemies, we've ran into Crimson Heads a few times. Crimson Heads out there, I didn't talk about them. If you shoot a zombie and leave it in a room, it has a chance to come back as a Crimson Head at a random time frame. Crimson Heads, their faces are red, their skin peels off, they grow claws, and they are fast and they are mean.
Mm-hmm. My first interaction with a Crimson Head was, the long hallway full of mirrors, and like one of the worst rooms to kind of be in one of those. Yeah, so I see the zombies. I was like, oh, the zombie's no longer there. Okay, I'll wait a minute. Oh, the zombie's not walking towards me. I hear it talking. That's weird. Let me go around the corner real quick. Immediately, the second I go around the corner, this thing jumps at me and slices me. I'm just like, what are you? Like, what? Like, as soon as I go around the corner, this thing's super fast and moving and red. It's like, what are you?
You
And
can
then it,
always
like,
hear
gave
them
me.
running because they have like a Squidward sound. Like,
Didn't run. Didn't run. It was literally around the corner and it didn't move until I went
I
up to it.
I will argue that unless it's like there's one for Chris's that's more of a cutscene thing, but outside of that, they will hunt you down.
They will, but it was just around the corner. It was just there. It caught me so off guard.
You have to go watch my series and see Marco because Marco would always say hi to me.
There was one zombie that I left for like I don't think I even killed it. I don't
Please
think.
tell me it's the one on this up on the balcony.
No,
I left
that
him.
one. He came inside the house. He came inside the house and he chased me.
No, no,
So I was
no,
like,
no. Like whenever at the upstairs, like in the dining hall, you have an upstairs portion of there in a big circle.
oh no,
You
no, no.
don't have to kill
My
him. I didn't kill him.
it's the one that's like right outside of the room where Richard was poisoned. Like that, like sort of C shape thing. That
Oh
like
no,
area.
he died with one shot. He doesn't come back.
Oh, I mean, I never killed him though. He was just there. I was able to avoid him,
Oh,
so I just let it be.
I'm thinking of a different one. I did see like as soon as like the room with Richard. Is what I thought you meant.
No,
Never mind.
not that one. The one
Okay,
outside of that. The one outside. I was talking about, yeah, you go in the room and the zombie's just there. No,
but
not that one.
this is also your first time playing Resident Evil, so give us more intake on your Resident Evil because like we're about halfway through the game right now, technically speaking.
Yeah, like so Resident Evil, like already I've been very interested. I put it. I even texted it in like the last like bits that Resident Evil is a franchise that I thought was super cool, but I myself have never sat down and played an entire game all the way through of it. And I've gone to this game completely unspoiled. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I was constantly invested. Every time I solved, like, I was like, I'd solve like one puzzle, I'd give pieces for two more. Sometimes a piece won't even be used until way later. And so I really did enjoy the game, and it constantly kept me hooked. While the game seemed like the game didn't feel too hard. Now, yes, I was again playing medium, but like the game felt very fun, and it gave like that scare factor in a very simple way. Like there's the mere atmosphere change, the zombies coming back randomly, the fact that you're having to go around having to burn them so they don't come back as something even better. There's like the mansion, you find out like, oh, there's more floors, there's more rooms, there's different keys. Oh, cool, I found a key, and now it's like, now I gotta use it for this room, but this room gives me this puzzle for this other thing that I needed 5 minutes ago on the other side of the map. And so it made this game that's small feel like a very long time, but it felt like it didn't feel too difficult. Now, again, I'm saying this whenever a lot of times I was stuck for a little bit. It didn't make me feel like completely frustrated. There's only one time. I was actually near the end of the game, but it's because I'm an idiot. That was entirely my fault. That wasn't the game's fault. The game was great. It didn't leave me in the dust to try to figure something out. Almost every answer you need is given to you, and the map, like it's like if you don't need anything in with that room anymore, it becomes green, and it'll change from its like reddish, brownish, orangish color. And so the game pretty much like well, in the beginning you're gonna mess up a few times. You can't figure everything else out, and you're given a bunch of interesting story pretty quickly in the mansion alone. And
Yeah,
you go back to the mansion. You don't even figure everything out, but by the time you leave, you have to go back later.
like 3 times you go back to the mansion.
Yeah, you go back several times, and that's not even including the basement.
So after you after you make your way outside the back of the mansion, you do some stuff back there. You see Lisa. Make your way back for the first time. A new enemy type is introduced to the game. So the whole thing we fought right now, we've been zombies, the normal walkers, crimson heads, and the Cerberus from time to time. You have to take on like a handful, like every once in a while you run into. I want to say there's maybe 4 times I can think of that you actually fight them. You have to fight them for the whole like 4 times. I want to say because you fight them in the courtyards twice, then you fight one on the balcony, and then you fight the. I want to say there's another, and you have fight one with the in the hallway where they jump through the windows.
Okay, maybe. I think so.
And I want to say.
I think that's right.
So anyway, when we go back, there are things called hunters. Hunters. They are short little gremlin things that are like 5 foot. They are beefy reptilian lizard people.
They're not really short. They're crouching, so they're not really short. If they stood tall, then they'd be.
They're 5 foot.
They look tall. All right, weird.
That's not a number I pulled out of my ass.
All right, I thought they were tall.
Probably.
I thought they were like just crouching.
Let's how tall is a hunter? Yes, how tall is a hunter? They can have either 999 HP or 1600 HP. Thank you, game. That entirely tells me how tall they are.
Dude, the cutscene was so great for that, though.
Oh, and you just see him hopping at, like, you don't even know what it is. It's just
you don't even know what it is. Yeah, all you know is that it's right behind you, and then even when you go back to Jill, this thing is still it's still around the corner. Like, that was sick. That was great. I loved that.
These things are called Hunter Alphas.
Okay.
I think that's the alpha symbol. It's like it's a like the weird fish A.
Oh, okay, fish A. I know, like, there's like the omega symbol, but the A one I don't know.
Let's just do this because you're on Discord right now. Let's just show you what I mean. Tell me if this doesn't just look like a fish. You know what? It doesn't do anything here, so it doesn't do anything whatsoever. Thank you, computer. You have failed me yet again.
Oh, you gotta upgrade.
Oh, don't worry.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
So anyway, once you make your way back to the mansion care thing, you are given more exploration of the mansion. You start finding, like, it's literally just figure out what the fuck's happening here. The T-virus, zombies. There's Umbrella works and all this and has made all this. Umbrella is a pharmaceutical company that we didn't know anything about. You start learning about who made the mansion. It's Spencer. Oswald E. Spencer was his name. Made the mansion to protect something. That's why the mansion is as fucked up as it is, because there's a secret hidden in there, and he wanted to make sure only very few people could get into there, and he was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he killed the person who made the mansion. Trevor made the mansion.
Goodbye.
So yeah, you go more through, as I keep exploring more of it, you find, you figure out who made the mansion, which is Trevor. You figured out they made a grave for him underneath the house. That way they could kill him to keep whatever secret was, because who the fuck's going to sit there making 94-story mansion with 8,700 rooms? This one's locked by the shape of a frog. This one's locked by the shape of a specific man's penis. How do we get into these rooms? Oh my god, who knows? All over the place. I hate this mansion. It irks me. It irks me so bad. I don't care if it's a secret or not. Make it a special key that only one man has. Not, oh, let me go grab this shield and swap it with a golden shield. Now here's a wooden one. Oh, this bird. I gotta go to this part of the room and run along the wall. Otherwise, he ain't gonna find me. I hate this house. This house gives me anxiety because of how fucking stupid it is.
It's great.
I hate this mansion.
It's cool.
Don't get me wrong.
Whenever I get my own house, I'm gonna install a bunch of booby traps.
And
puzzles.
Danger's gonna die. He's gonna get a house. I've made my own Spencer.
I'm gonna forget.
I'm gonna make my own mansion.
I'm gonna make the extreme. No, it's the extreme house, and as like literally next day, I'm gonna forget like half the puzzles. I'll be like, like again, I'm gonna be like, oh, making a Rubik's cube as a doorknob would be so funny. I don't know how to solve the Rubik's Cube.
Hit
I just
YouTuber DangerXtreme died in an accident in house. What was the accident? He locked himself in the bathroom.
he made both sides of the doorknob a Rubik's cube. He
Oh my
was in the
god.
bathroom for 3
Here's what it
days.
is. One half of the door, one doorknob is half a Rubik's cube. The other one's the other half. You have to solve them to where they are a full Rubik's cube if they came together.
I don't even know how that worked. It'd be insane.
Or Resident Evil can do it.
Resident, I'm sure if anyone can, Resident Evil
So,
can.
Danger, am I missing stuff? Like, realistically, I don't think I'm missing.
I mean, you're missing minor like details and stuff. Like to go to the cabin, there was like you were able to get the revolver through like a puzzle thing, which was one of the weirdest puzzles. You literally just take 3 things in your inventory and kind of just swap it over to the other stone to get the revolver. Which I mean, I thought was going to be much more complicated. That was very simple. There was the like the sort of the dog puzzle with like
The whistle?
no, the
Oh,
direction
the statues, the Cerberus
the
statues.
statues, yeah, to make them face a certain way to open the thing.
I thought
Dude, the
about those.
whistle one, no idea. Like I mean, I figured it out eventually, but at first I had no idea what it was to do. And then when I did, the fact that he had a transformer on him for the key, like I was like, okay, what in the world?
Yeah, like I said, people, this game, it has. Oh, you look at the puzzles, you're like, man, this is dumb. It's cool.
There's a few dumb things in the game. Here's the thing: a lot of dumb things are cool. A lot of cool things are dumb. They're cool, but it's like it can't really happen, and it doesn't really make sense either. Yeah, that like Freddy Krueger chopsticks. Anyone, yeah, I mean, everyone can see he has Freddy Krueger chopsticks. How do they work? What do they look like? I don't know. Put in your imagination. They're cool, but they're very.
This will be the promo for the episode on Instagram.
Sure, you know what? Yeah, sure. I'll go to Instagram, whatever is Instagram is. I don't know.
No, Games and Gamers podcast Instagram. What's his episode promo? Freddy Krueger chopsticks.
Yeah, it looks super cool, but it's dumb because it doesn't actually work. But it's cool. Yeah, it's dumb, but it's cool. But
I know it's just puzzles, stuff like that. But I'm trying to think story beats because, like I said, the game has story, but it's in such small increments and it's
small things.
And in the first half of the game, you really don't know what the story is.
Yeah, no, you don't. You're giving it's too that way at the very end you're fed like, and here it all is. Here's the final puzzle piece, the thing that puts it all together, which is cool. But then it's like, here we are, and it's like, we're just flying by through the game right now, but then we're going to be stuck in the last, like, 10 minutes of the game for a while. I mean, that's how it is. We're just... And that's... Like, this episode's going by fast. We're going by the story fast, but once we get towards the end, then things are going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in right now.
An hour and a half in. Gosh, you could be done already.
Yeah, we could be.
We could be. I can't be. I'm so tired.
But don't worry, more Resident Evil is coming your way right after these messages.
Right after these messages.
All right, so once you make your way back to the mansion after fighting the hunter, and start you have full access to the mansion itself, more or less at this point. You have except for like you have like 4 rooms you can't get to, 3 of which are locked by helmets, which you'll save for later, which give more story input, and then you have more of it leading into the something. It lead into something. What the fuck? Emblem room. That's what it was. The emblem room. After you do all this stuff, like more or less where we're going right now is we're leaving the mansion. We are going to the residency behind it. It's a little cottage, pretty much, like a little science cottage, like I guess relaxation house. I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a little hotel, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a little hotel type thing. Yeah,
and this is where the story really starts kind of picking up because you start learning more about what's happening. Also, one thing I want to point out in this game is the differences between. So whenever you play as Jill, the differences between Jill and Chris are very evident in how the game plays. Because the Moonlight Sonata, whenever Jill plays the piano, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Chris can't play the piano?
What does he do?
He doesn't know how to play it.
So do you just never do that puzzle?
No, somebody has to do the puzzle for him because he doesn't know how to play it.
Oh, there's like the other character. I saw that during the credits. I saw there was something.
Yeah, Rebecca Rebecca
Yeah.
knows how to play the piano. Chris does not, so she plays the piano in lieu for Chris. And there's just
Mm.
moments here and there where, you know, just differences between. That's a really fun way. This game needs to be played twice to understand how to truly appreciate it because it's
Yeah,
two
this
different
this
stories.
game playing it makes me want to play twice.
And
I play this game and it makes me want to play it again.
I'm gonna have a discussion with Danger after all this. Actually,
This game makes me want to play it again, unlike a certain Silent Hill game.
hey, Silent Hill, you just trash at Silent Hill. You
I,
think I'll be honest?
okay. I will say one thing. I will admit. Oh yeah. I
Here's
had
the thing,
problems.
and I'll be honest with you right now. Like I said, watching it, had we played the original Resident Evil, you'd have the same negativity as you would for that one. I'll tell you this right now.
But also the story for Silent Hill, I didn't like. I didn't like it. I thought
It had the exact same way of little bit story.
little bit. Story's bullshit. All right, there we go. Let's keep going.
I mean, Silent Hill definitely has a weird story. I will not deny that in any capacity.
It's weird, dumb, and not cool. Resident Evil, weird, dumb stuff. It's really cool. So it's kind of
because
cool
you like zombies more than the pathological cultists.
Zombies are cool.
So once you make your way to the residency, the story really starts picking up, I would say, because you start learning more about it.
Yes.
You learn that there's a traitor among you. You learn that laboratories have been here for a long time, been testing underneath this all for many, many months. They have this virus that they've been using to experiment on all sorts of things: snakes, yawn, spiders, sharks, humans,
Plants,
dogs too. It hits a whole wide variety of things. And unfortunately, it's kind of become a failure because everything becomes ravenous, rabid, and just hyper aggressive. Look at the normal zombies. Even if they're okay, normal zombies are aggressive, Crimson Heads are hyper aggressive, Cerberus are hyper aggressive. A lot of things just become aggressive. Hunters are hyper aggressive. And as you know, later just start learning more that the they've been fucking around there for a long time. You had like people who've made it, who all made the work on the T virus. I cannot remember who. I know Birkin.
There was 3 characters, I believe. I believe there was 3 different characters.
Birkin, Spencer, and
Wesker.
No,
Wesker. Wesker was a part of a different team of 3.
Okay, Spencer, Ashford, and Marcus. I thought Birkin was Birkin was in 2. So James Marcus was another one that worked in it. So I guess those 3 worked on the virus itself, and they all kind of had their own thing. And they had some prodigies that also helped them kind of manifest in later things, which which may or may not come into fruition later on. So go through this residency. You find your next, I guess, boss. We'll call it Neptune. Queen Neptune. Neptune is a massive shark, which
I think here's the thing. I think it does count as a boss because you have to quickly get by before they get you. You have to quickly get by. You have like a very little time limit, and you can dodge them like once or twice, but you have to keep moving or they'll get you. Then we go to the lower floor. They're trying to destroy the room to kill you, so you have to hurry. And dude, that thing was great. I hate.
It's a situational. It's a
situation. It's a situational thing. So it's still a boss fight. Yeah. And then also, even at the very end, you still have to find a way to actually beat it, or you're dead. So like, it's definitely a boss fight. It's not a typical boss fight, but it's still enough to be considered.
And I don't think it's happened to Danger or not. But whenever you first enter the room, you go into like knee high, waist high water, and you have the sharks running in. Then as you kill, you have 3 little baby sharks that start trying to chomp your little ankles. And then you have the big one swimming around. Did you know the big one can pull you under and just one-shot you?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you did that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you the big one's there. Yeah, I believe I died. I died once at least once. Yeah, the big one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, it's there, then the lower floor, and then still on the bottom. We'll get one more.
Then after that, you make your way down to a power room.
It. I believe it is thalassophobia, or whatever the correct term is. Yeah, to this day, I do not know the exact proper term.
I always
fear of the ocean.
I get it confused too.
Hate it. The entire time, the entire game, I have maybe maybe jumped a bit,
Yeah,
maybe
thalassophobia.
it's almost like fine. It's whatever. The game's never terrified me, even if it's worse things. It from its jump scares to its atmosphere, nothing. That room alone, just walking knee high in water, I'm just like no. And then when I enter and then showing like the first person perspective of a thing, even though it's just a basic shark, I'm just like no, hate it, hate it. It was one of the worst things.
Yeah,
Did not like it.
it's fun for some people. I really like the whole aesthetic of it. It was really, really cool.
Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. No for where no context to y'all.
He hates
There's
it.
he sent me a picture of a freaking just it's not even anything. It's just an image of like a deep sea creature underwater looking up at something. A person? Is that a person like diving in the water? That is a person diving in water, and that nah, dude, no, 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 hate it a lot. But all right, but yeah, so
So
you fight
you
Neptune,
fight
and
Neptune. You also got to go into the fun little part of how you deal with Neptune. You go into this little glass chamber where it was the observation chamber, and you have to drain it. Neptune is smarter than Let's On, so and realizes she has to kill you, and you are put into like I think it's 5 minute time limit, maybe. It's not a long
it's
time.
not 5 minutes. I don't think. I don't think it's even 5 minutes. I think it's like three, maybe not even. It goes
I
by very fast.
It
It goes
does
by
because
very fast.
she has to. You basically have to drain it, and as it begins to drain, you get attacked by the shark. It's like, oh, structural hole
Yeah,
at
you're given like
hundred
a minute.
percent, then like 90%, and basically you have a time limit to get it drained. You get it drained, go on further down. You see Neptune sitting in like maybe I don't know a couple inches of water. Hop onto a thing, which because she's surrounding a key, trying to get to the key, and as you do, she comes back to life. And you have the choice on how to kill her. You can shoot her to death, apparently. Or you can
It's
make it
not worth it.
humane and
It.
shock her to death.
I shot like 3 or 4 rockets at her, grenades at her. You're telling me she can die, whatever. I guess, but it's like it's way more. Jeez, like it was. I tried so much, and I was like, you're
It's a,
clearly not.
I don't know if it's true or not. I've always gone the generator route because you can turn on a generator and shock the water. I don't know if it's true or not.
I died twice because I couldn't figure out the generator thing. I didn't know you could just push it over. Like it doesn't. Seems like whenever I look at that, it doesn't seem like something you just
Yeah,
push
Resident
over.
Evil has the same issue that Silent Hill has. Is stuff is right in front of you, but it doesn't give you any idea that it is in front of you. And that can fuck around with some things. Like the first time I played it, like the end, something happens at the end kind of fucks around with how I played it because it doesn't give any inkling on how. And I told
Yeah.
him to be vigilant on it because I did not see it the first time.
Yeah. The one thing is I'm typically like looking out for that, and one thing is again I can kind of I've played enough games to kind of predict what's gonna happen, and so I kind of predicted I need to go to that super locked room on the side because I bet you that's lore. I expect I was gonna go in there and get like a piece of lore. I didn't know I was gonna go in there and like find that. So I already was gonna be looking for that first. So I made yes. Well, I did take the advice. I would have head for it anyway. But yeah, dude, it was dumb. It was
Yeah.
dumb.
So
But dude, I was doing for the first time, literally at the final episode. I didn't do that early on. I was just reading the note over and over and over and over, reading the note constantly, trying to make sure I got everything.
So after you deal with Neptune, you are given a key to I want to say more of the residency, allowing you to completely explore the house. And you deal with you hear about a massive plant. I cannot remember what the name of the plant is,
Plant
but
42 or something. It's literally something like Plant 42 or
yeah,
47.
it
What
my
was
cat
that?
my cat's fucking with the mirror behind me. He randomly
No.
will just start attacking the mirror. I hate this cat.
You love the cat.
It's definitely a 50-50 these last few days. He got his ass thrown outside like 2 days ago
Man,
for like 5 minutes. If it wasn't so cold, he would have stayed outside. So
it's so nice outside. It's good. It's great.
it's too cold for me. After you deal with this, you go start exploring more of the residency. You run into Plant 42, and you learn more about virus and stuff like that. What all they've tested on, and you start running into giant spiders.
It
Once
was
you run
so
into him
creepy.
once. You run into him
It,
technically twice.
you ran into him twice, but it would, dude, like walking into the room and then the spider crawling down the door. Yeah, I was like, bro, no. It was super cool though.
Yeah.
They literally they died in like 2 or 3 shotgun shots if you hit them
And
right.
then they
So
also explode and just spit poison at you, pretty much. If you walk through, you get poisoned.
yep, I assumed so.
So you do deal with all that, and you go as you deal with more of the residency. You've managed to find this big magic, this big evil plant. And depending on who you play as, depends on how you deal with it. Because you read a thing called V-Jolt. V-Jolt is probably one of my favorite puzzles in the game, especially the most recent time I played through it, because I forgot a big crucial part of it, which Danger didn't. And I don't know if I did that in the original one either. I think I just big brained my way through it both times. I know I did on this recent one. I big brained through it. But if you play as Chris and walk in, I don't think you can make it prior. It has to be Rebecca because you play Rebecca's a smarter one of the two of more scientific. And I want to say as Jill, you can make the V jolt before you go deal with the plant, correct?
Yes.
Chris, you cannot. I don't think so anyway.
Mm.
I didn't. I had to walk in the room, and then you have to play as Rebecca to make the V jolt. The V jolt is basically super strong plant poison. Spray it on the roots, and you have a boss fight with the plant. And like I like the V jolt thing because at least it's trial and error if you don't read the wall. Like, oh, 1 + 1 is 2. You have to make a plant called UMD20. Is it
It's
UMD
UMD.
or UMB?
I think it was UNB. I think it was UMB.
It's like
I have
UMB20.
I have it on my phone.
It essentially makes like UMB20 pretty much. You have to get it all to equate to 20, then you get boom V Jolt Plant Killer, which is dandy. So after you kill said plant killer, the plant thing, then you go back to the mansion for
B. It is B.
BK. Then you go back to I want to say you go back to the mansion after that. Oh, we also ran into it. This doesn't happen in my part. I'll let Danger cover this part because whenever you're with Jill in the residency, you run into Barry and Wesker.
You run into you run into Barry. You run to the room with the plant. Jill gets caught by the plant, and she thinks she's a goner. Barry comes in, and Barry takes care of the plant. And already a very poisoned plant, but he goes ahead and helps finish it off. Then you go in, and I believe you grab another key. I think, if I'm correct, I think you grab another key. Yeah, and then as he's like, oh, I'll go down here. You go ahead and leave. Then, as you're leaving, you end up running into Wesker finally again, and he's shooting a zombie. He takes out a zombie. You talk to him. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, oh, hey, like, uh, it wasn't it. What did Wesker say again? Can't remember off the top of my head what he said, but he ends up talking to. Oh yeah, yeah. They were talking about like how Barry is acting weird. It's like, oh hey, like something something. It was like, yeah, Barry's been acting weird lately. It's like keep on your guard, and then he walks away, basically giving you this like sense of can we trust Barry? Like something's going on, something's weird. Can we trust Barry? And then you end up leaving on your way, continuing outside of the residence. And once you defeat the plant, like once you defeat Neptune and then the plant, you're done with the residence pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You can find more lore bits around.
And just explaining more of the virus and all what they fucked around with.
Mm-hmm.
And also that you had other people that conspired in making the virus, which were Marcus and
You literally just said his name, but I forgot it as well. Matthew
Ashford.
something. Ashford. I don't know.
Yeah, Ashford. And then you go back to the mansion for pretty much like your final exploration of the mansion. You run into a few more
with
puzzles.
The key again, once again.
More keys. More keys.
More keys. A lot of keys.
Yeah, as you go through more exploration of the place, you run into a lot of it's been a little while since I played the Jill story. We were supposed to be talking more back and forth of it, and I've just been kind of running through because it's the same story, just a little bit like scene here.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same story. It's slightly different in different sections, but it's mostly the same. But it's cool. It is really cool.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to do it on. Like I said, we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to play through both again.
Play through
which
both.
I'm down.
Yeah, play. Release another episode. It's the exact same. Just I'm now on the Chris roll and you're the Jill roll, but that's Oh, that's different. That'd be
Here's what we
insane.
gotta do, Danger, is we gotta do it in like one mega episode, but have it like an edited mega episode.
Edited mega episode.
Like make it like it's like
That'd be.
45 minutes, but it's like the crucial parts of the game.
We would have to see. For that, we'd have to make a script. We would have to make a script episode to
I
do
know.
that.
We'll see. But when you make your way back to the mansion, start exploring more of it, you then start realizing that yeah, we gotta figure out how to destroy this mansion because shit's going down. Pretty
Yeah.
much, the shit's going down.
Yeah, like from the mansion, the courtyard, the residence, there is things that's never been seen before. There are monsters, there are things, there are mutants, there's viruses. This is not good. It's gotta go.
You also, as you explore more, you make your way to the upper part of it. Like I said, we're exploring the final portions of the house. You fight the Yawn again, who gives you
Yes.
a crest. I want to say it's the wolf crest.
I think it's the wolf one, yes.
You pick up this wolf
I think
crest.
it is the wolf one.
You fight him in the library, pick up wolf crest, then you go do a little more exploring. And after you do some more of the exploring, you manage to make your way under the house. And you're also gonna have to remind me whenever we pick up the eagle one, because I forget where we pick up the eagle. But you explore under the house in a cave system to where it is actually more. You find one final party member named, I think it's Eduardo, one of the two, who points out that there is 100% a traitor amongst it, and depending on who you are, depends on who they think the traitor is. Because I'm pretty sure with Jill, he's like, "Ugh, Jill, I know who the traitor is. And he gets shot, right?"
Yes.
For Chris is labeled the traitor. Walk upstairs and say, "Chris, you're the traitor." Huh? What? Yeah, traitor. And then he gets shot by some unknown assailant. Go through, clear all this. You run to another portion with Lisa. You take on another boss in here known as the Black Tiger. And the Black Tiger is a big fucking spider.
Yeah. Also, it was located in book 1. It was located in a book inside the courtyard study.
Okay.
What is the courtyard study? I cannot remember off the top of my head. But I do remember there's one red book, one blue book.
Yeah.
But yeah, you fight against the spider, and thankfully in the room, like you fight this. Also, there's mini spiders as well. It's not just the big spider. There's also like I think at least one smaller one.
Once you kill Big Spider, once you kill Black Tiger, Mama Spider, you leave. All the spiders are dead.
Yep. Also, there was like it gives you a knife as well. Then in case like, hey, put your knife up, which is basically my run. I didn't use the knife almost pretty much ever. It's like here's a knife to cut open the thing, because that's what you need to do. So I had 2 knives.
I left said knife because knife was very useless. I mean, people do knife only runs in these games. I don't understand how.
I mean, it's entirely possible.
I know, no, it's been done. I just don't understand how.
The bosses sound insane to do.
Especially the last boss.
Oh yeah, that is a level of insanity. I could see how it could get done, but
it's all timing, and I don't have that kind of patience. So good on you if you've done a knife only. So after you kill Black Tiger, you make your way back to the mansion again. Actually, no. After the Black Tiger, you find
you forgot. You go deeper down.
Yeah. You go deeper down and you start exploring. You go through like a nearly submerged tunnel. Get chased by snakes, which is kind of hilarious. That snakes just randomly appear and start chasing you in the water.
Snakes randomly appear all over the map.
And then you find a sad little bedroom. Like you can look at a bedroom, all this. It's very sad. And you realize this is a girl's bedroom. You pick up a metal stone object in there. It's like an umbrella looking thing. And you read a note that's basically, "Mommy was supposed to come find me. I don't know where Mommy is."
Is this Chris's story?
These are notes you can find in that area.
No, but is this Chris in the order you're going in? Because I think this is slightly different.
I'm talking like immediately after the Black Tiger, you actually go. You have a big open room. You go in that has flamethrowers and stuff like that. You got to do a little flamethrower puzzle, putting it on the wall and stuff. Correct?
Yes, but before that, you actually
Oh,
you
that's
go.
right. You have a different portion than me.
That's what I'm saying. Like mine's different.
Because
Mine's
Jill,
different
as
than
she's about
that.
to get on the elevator, I completely forgot about it. You have to deal with an
Yeah,
elevator that takes you deeper. I completely forgot about that because that doesn't happen in Chris's story. So in
yeah, that's
Chris's
what I'm
story,
saying.
in Jill's story, you remember you have an elevator. You take it from here.
There's an elevator, and you're about to go down, and all of a sudden Barry shows up. He's like, "Hey, like, oh, I was trying to catch up. Like, we should go down together, stick together." Which already should make you very suspicious, because literally moments ago, he's like, "We should split up all the time." He goes down with you. You go down to the lower level, and then he like you hear a noise, which we end up finding is Lisa, and he says, "Oh, you go ahead and go on ahead. I'll guard here. I'll guard the elevator." You enter the room, and I ended up exploring around. Then I ended up leaving just to see, like, I wonder if I can go back up real quick. You leave, and then Barry ditches us. Turns out Barry reveals that he is the traitor. Revealing that he's a traitor, you go inside, you figure what you can, get bamboozled by a flamethrower. There was a broken flamethrower that you can do for a puzzle once you push down a box, and you're basically just stuck in an area with Lisa. I saw there was a broken flamethrower. I was like, oh, well, surely if there's a model for a broken one, then there's a model of a fixed one. Nope. Nope. Sorry to spoil it for you guys. No flamethrower. I got so happy and so sad so fast. Then go around, and then eventually you escape the room with Lisa, and then you go into the bedroom. You go into the room to where there's a ton of a bunch of snakes, and then run into the bedroom where he's staying. So he didn't get an entire section with uh, Chris. With Chris, there's a section you don't even go to. With Jill, there's an entire area.
Yeah, I
That's what I was
completely
about to
forgot
say.
about that.
I was about to say you skipped a really massive chunk between, like a massive chunk
I skipped
between
nothing.
those two. At least between those two,
Yeah,
that
I
was a
forgot
pretty
to
big
think about.
chunk.
Then you go, then you get water, snakes, and
Yeah.
little sad room of
More things, story, yeah. Story to learn about how Lisa's wearing her own mother's skin.
she's wearing her own mother's face.
Yeah, her face. It's
It's
pretty
it's
gruesome.
it's sad because
It's sad, it's gruesome.
here's the thing, she sells like a mentality of a child.
Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. It's
I'm
really
gonna
sad.
There's a movie out there called Old, which has I hate that movie to such a degree that I try and put it out of my memory, but it's completely like burned into my brain. But there's a scene in it. Basically, I'll spoil the movie. Is you got this beach makes you age super rapidly.
Yeah, I know what film you're talking about. I already know.
There
Er,
is a 3-year-old in this movie who begins to age, and like a 6-year-old, I want to say 5, 6-year-old, they age to teenage years, and the 3-year-old, the 1 3-year-old, in like a span of like 10 minutes, gets pregnant. The
yeah,
teenagers. It's weird. It's weird
it's
fucking
it's
movie.
it's a weird movie. It's a very messed up movie, and the whole figuring out everything. It's very messed up.
And the thought that crossed my mind watching this again, playing this game again, was just the mentality of it. They don't understand anything. Like in the movie, this little girl who has a mentality of like a 3, 4-year-old has no idea what's happening to her. And she's terrified of what's happening. Lisa, if I remember right, she has a mentality of like a 7, 8-year-old, has no idea what's happened to her. And it's so sad that mom's gone, doesn't know where dad is. She's kind of been abandoned as a mutant that cannot die, has been shot at who knows how many times, and just lives fucking arms tied together. It's sad. Like, I'm not even kidding. I don't sit here and be like, oh man, this is a sad character often, but damn, that's so sad. I'm a heartfelt person, people,
It's
believe it or not.
pretty gruesome.
So, after that, then you make your way back to the mansion for the final time. Because you now have stone and metal object. You got to grab another stone and metal object from other rooms. Also, and I forgot about this portion for because I can't remember if it happens for Jill or not. But whenever you make your way to the emblem room, you know that little emblem room?
Mm-hmm.
There's a scream. You have to go save Rebecca. You have exactly 2 minutes to go save Rebecca, or she will die. And I did not realize this because here's how the game is. You go into a room. Ah! Oh my gosh, that's Rebecca. I have to find her. Where? It sounds like it came from upstairs. Upstairs where? Upstairs where? And I had this. I saved scum. I did what you did, and I saved scummed and saved her. But make your way to the mansion. You go open up a special thing underneath it because once you enter the main, whenever you first enter the main hall, you have big stairs. Underneath the stairs are like iron gates that have weird octagon shapes that you can't do anything with. Indentations you can't do anything with. Put in these symbols and allows you to go underneath the mansion, truly underneath the mansion. And you're there, and I want to say for you it's Barry, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had Wesker as my support helping me against in that fight.
Mm.
And this isn't even
Also, it's something that's very interesting is in the very beginning of the game. In the very beginning of the game, one of the rooms I actually looked at was downstairs at that gate. And I heard something down there. That in the very beginning of the game, we gotta hear Lisa at the very beginning of the game. Lisa, that was Lisa's like groan. And so I remember hearing it and being like, "Oh, I wonder what's down there." Later, figuring out that's what it was.
Yep.
So that was very interesting.
And her fight, I don't even know if we want to call it a fight because it's not even a fight. You don't have to shoot in that thing. How long did it take for you to figure that out?
Took me a minute. I was trying to figure out what it was and what I was supposed to do. I didn't realize that at first, so it did take me a second. But I eventually figured it out and I got it beat.
Yeah, you the way you deal with it is you go into like just leading tunnels and stuff like that. Then you come to a casket, like a stone, I guess sarcophagus is closer to what it is. It's a stone casket that have changed big rocks on the edge of it with Lisa and Barry or Wesker. They're like, hey, I need your help. Deal with this thing. I'll provide backup. And you have to push off these big, think of it like sandbags for like stages. Push off these sandbags, then you reveal the top of the casket, or you move part of the casket back, and Lisa goes over, sticks her hands in, Mother, pulls out her skull, looks at it, and then hops off, never to be seen again. To which, sad. Then you find a note in there talking about the mother's like, I want to find you, my baby girl. I promise we will find each other again, which is more sad. And then, after that point, I don't know what happens with Barry. I remember that you can have something can happen with Barry because Lisa can drag him down, right?
No, so what Lisa can do is that Lisa can knock him off.
If he does, if you take his magnum.
No, even if you don't, he can't. So if you take his magnum, you don't give it back to him. She will knock him off, and you will see his you'll see it'll be his gun on the ground, and it'll be a picture of him and his family. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't, basically you have to do the puzzle in time because she'll go up to him, hit him off, and he just falls off. You don't get to see you don't get his gun or the picture, and he gets knocked off the map. Or the little area.
I thought it was if he took his magnum and didn't give it back, he couldn't defend himself.
Yeah, and then he gets knocked off.
Yeah. Well, you said he got knocked. You just said he got knocked off both times.
No. So if you give him the magnum, he keeps it, and you can do the task and keep him alive. But if you don't do it in time, he can still get knocked off. But at least now he can protect himself. You can help protect him, but you have to do it fast enough to kind of keep the aggravation on you. Because if she's aggroed against him, she can knock him off. Either way.
Okay. It's been a while. But it's been 2 years I've done this part.
Yeah, but at least if you do it the other way, you have a chance to keep him alive, which I did. Okay. I kept him alive. So I saw what would happen if I kept the gun, and then I reset.
So after that, you then go up further into the thing, and you come to a weird, big door, which is why, if I remember right, is never utilized unless it's a door I think it is. But it's a door that's it's a big door. We can't go past it. You go to the right, and there's a fountain that has 2 slots for crests, one of a wolf, one of an eagle. Put these crests in. The fountain thumps on open, and you go down to the final laboratory.
Okay. Oh, I know what door you're talking about. Yeah, no, we never. Both versions, you don't see that door. I don't remember what that door does.
I want to say that leads to the helipad. I want to say
it could. It entirely could. but it's really weird and random.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's another door, at least through Jill's side, that you can't interact with at all. In the room where you actually defeat the yawn, there's a massive door in there, but you can't actually go
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
no, it leads to the portion that we can always go to. That door is just locked. It's just you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
Yep.
It's a map exploration. So go into this lab, and this is like the final lab. You really start learning a lot about some of the big things here. More about the virus, who made the virus. We already learned about like this is where you truly learn the T virus. You learn about all those that worked on it. You learn more about who the traitor is, and it's not Barry, it's not Chris, it's Wesker. Wesker's the big bad traitor. You also get some fun names like Ada. I don't know. Did you notice we learned about Ada early?
Well, learn about like Anna and John. Here's the funniest thing, right? Funniest thing. Made a video, right? So many videos. The one video that I made where John is a character in it. I was talking like I was like making the video this morning. And I was like, I wonder what I should call the video. He said, my brother said, I got an idea, and he just typed. He said John, and he typed in John, the name John. He did not watch me play it. He doesn't know anything about Resident Evil 1. Could have picked any name in any episode that I recorded, and he picked John in the one episode where John was a relevant character involving like the little story and computer and all that. And dude, I started laughing hysterically, and I said, "There is no way out of every video and every name you picked that." And so I will say the title has the name John in it. I left the name John in the title because of that.
John, Resident Evil.
John, Resident Evil.
But you have a fun puzzle there of you have to put in X-rays of like kidney, liver, spine, all that to come up with a message, which is cell. C
I did
L
not.
L.
I did not spell cell the first time.
It took me a minute to actually click to realize.
I got it, but I put throat, not esophagus. I put throat, and so I got that. I was like, oh. I didn't put in the right one.
Esophagus? That's
Yeah.
not even right. It's CELL.
Esophagus is an E.
Is it esophagus?
Yeah,
Is it an
esophagus is an E.
Is it an E?
Yes.
Hold on. How the fuck? Oh, I guess it is. Okay. I'm tired.
Yeah. No, I'm so tired. I've been yawning for like
We're
a billion
done.
times.
We're almost done.
We're almost done. We're close. We're close. I don't remember what the first one, but it wasn't Cell. It was like I got two of them wrong. I don't remember. It's on camera. It's on camera of me being a goober.
But yeah, it was.
I can't edit. If I mess up,
it
it's on camera.
Yeah, I guess it was that. Anyway.
But yeah, so I put throat instead of esophagus, and then there was another one I got wrong instead. I was like, oh, I know what it was. It was like for like colon, I put like rectum instead of colon. So I got instead of esophagus, I put throat. So yeah, I had the idea, but I got the wrong words.
I put bladder. I thought bladder.
I got the like right idea, wrong words though. So, but I got it. I'm like, man, Cell makes so much more sense than like Arctic. Like, it was.
Cell makes so much sense as opposed to what?
Yeah, so, man, but it was fun. It was cool.
Also, one thing I'll point this out because it's very insignificant at first, is one of the things you can do in the mansion is you can pick up a floppy disk called an MO disk.
Yes. I thought the MO disc. So there's this tape. There's like a tape of like really for this like Kenneth, right?
Yep.
And it's like, oh, it's an editing software. Like it's an editing software. It's something we can mess with. We can actually mess with like Kenneth's tape. Do you want to mess with it? I'm like, sure. I assume it's the fact that why even say it's an editing software? Why even bother? Reason my belief was is because I had one disc in my inventory. It's like you can review part of the tape. So I'm like the MO discs. And I'm like, oh, can you take these other discs and like make them into something? And so I thought that's what it was. Why even say it's an editing software? Just say it's like someone's footage or something. Why? What? You don't edit anything. You review it. So it was weird. It didn't make sense. It was weird.
No, they were going to edit it that way. If it ever got found, it wouldn't realize what happened. Because they have it's cover up. Everything that happens there is a cover up.
Like I don't know. It just said like you could review the edited footage.
Yeah, and like it's just an edit, so you never really realize what actually happens. They weren't able to get it edited because people died down there.
Yep.
But after that, you do all this. Once you find the MO discs, you have the ability to go find whoever your missing party member is. So for him, you had Chris. You go down some stairs and find a cell. For me, it was Jill. And you talk to her, it's like, hey, I got trapped in here. Never really explained how they got trapped in there except Wesker. Wesker's the one that trapped us in
Yeah.
there, pretty much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's Wesker.
So that's more confirmation Wesker's the big bad. So I want to say for both of us, I can't remember for yours, but at least for me, you go whenever you go confront Wesker in a big room, a big laboratory, you have Rebecca there with you, your extra member. Did you have Barry with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he gets shot, and it's like, oh, thank God you had Wesker shoots him.
What? Oh no, Wesker doesn't shoot Jill or
Barry.
Barry. Yeah, no. What happens is that Wesker go like he's like you leave and I'll take care of Jill. So Barry leaves.
Oh, that's
Wesker
right.
goes to shoot Jill, but then Barry shoots Wesker before he can. And then Wesker activates like as like Barry's like I couldn't let it happen again. Like regardless of like my family and whatnot, like I can't betray a friend twice. Like I already betrayed you once. Like I can't do it again. And then Wesker, at a last ditch effort, activated the monster.
Yeah, the
Activated his
Tyrant,
creation.
the T002.
It's super cool.
And this is different from mine because we have that room. You have Wesker shoots Rebecca, and then he's monologuing to Chris. I have made the perfect creation. This is what human ingenuity can make. It is the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is my creation. As he's draining this tube of this big, veiny, clawed, massive heart on the outside monster
Mm-hmm.
that has that jabs his hands through the glass, through Wesker, yeets him across the room, and then you are fighting another boss, the T002. And let me tell you, that thing is fucking menacing. Because the first time you run into it, it doesn't run. It just walks at you.
It just walks at you.
It's
It
just
just it's
standing
just
there.
yeah.
Menacingly.
Yep, dude. It was so funny because on my end, like he gets out and he starts walking towards them. In my head, I didn't say it on like the video, but in my head, I'm like, please just backhand the shit out of Wesker, and he does and he just hits Wesker away. So
Mhm.
funny, and I think Wesker called him like a premature child or something before he like got backhanded. It was funny.
Yeah. So then you knock him down, and depending on who, I can't. He'll have to go explain that. But for at least my side, Chris is like, "Oh, good job. Like a smart person, you always wear a bulletproof vest."
Oh, by the way, we got to see a new monster. We got to see the like bug creatures.
Yeah, I know the bugs. But
Yeah, I gotta
I
see
was gonna
like.
talk about more of that whenever we actually dealt more with the room clearing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was just mentioning that because we're heading towards like the final bit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I can't remember what the fuck they're called, but you deal with bugs, like big ass bugs that I want to say like 3-4 foot tall. They just like 2 or 3 shots kills them.
they're just annoying. There's a lot. They're easy to handle, but there's a lot of them,
Yep.
and
Also,
they
while you're
just
doing
keep.
your exploring, you run into an area that has a bomb, the self destruct system,
Yep.
noted for later. You have to put a new fuel thing in there, and one of the fuels is basically you just go put a canister thing, it gets filled up, and then comes a long 5 minutes of walking. You can't run. If you run, you die.
Hmm.
I first time through, I remember this. I tested. Man, what happens? It says don't run. What happens if I run? In my first ever playthrough, and I literally took like thunk thunk, huh, and died. So
Just exploded. You can run like a little bit, I accidentally put a shot on the trigger too much. I'd run a bit, but I mean, I think it's like if it's continuous, like it's like an invisible bar that goes up depending on how much you, like you can eventually hit like the bar of where it blows up.
yeah,
But you can run a little bit, but I never
after
did.
and after you fight the tyrant, because you shoot it, it falls down. You have save your person. in this room is where you have one of the ending choices. And I was going to say semantics just because it's very useless in the grand scheme for the most part of what you said. There's two endings to this game. I'm going to say there's only two endings to this game. If you're very specific, there are three, but technically there's only two. So in this room, whenever you saw Jill or Chris in the cells, they are locked. They can't get out. You have a button in here, which I missed at my first ever time. Second time through, I found it. I told Danger, be vigilant. You will look at it and not realize it is important, and you will walk on past it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, I was reading the paper. I was like, bro, dude, I cannot tell you how many times I was looking through like the laboratory like paperwork to like, okay, it's these people. These people are in these rooms. They were known as these things. So these people were located. And so if they were looking at these rooms, it's not this one. Then it's probably gonna be this one. If I don't see anything, it's looking at. Like, I was on that. I was on it the whole time, and it was so annoying.
And yeah,
it was annoying, but I got it. I eventually got it.
And then at this point, you have the ability to set the self-destruct. And this is where the game has, like I said, two choices, two endings. If you,
technically more if you play as Jill, because you can get also Chris, because you could get the partner that you have killed.
That's what I'm saying. It's a semantic at that point.
Get him killed. Also,
I know. I know it's a semantic. It's a semantic in it because the ending does not really change except for maybe one extra line of dialogue. Which that's why I'm not going to say it's like a different ending. It's the same ending, just one new dialogue added to it. If it's changed entirely, then yes, that's why I like two endings for each character. If you don't hit the thing and you escape, that you want to kill Tyrant for the first time. Spoilers for that. You can either fight him once or you can fight him twice. If you knock him down, don't hit the thing. Don't free person from prison, and make your way up to the helipad after setting the self-destruct. You just fly off without fighting the Tyrant again. And then it's like, man, I can't believe such and such died. I will remember them. Or if you free them, get them out, you run on through fighting more of the bugs, and you make your way to the helipad, and as you see Brad and we get him waved down, your other two members join you, one or two depending on how, and the Tyrant burrows his way up through the ground to where you have one final fight in the game. And I love the Tyrant fight. I don't know about you. You said you.
No, I enjoyed the last fight. I thought it was cool, dude. I started laughing hysterically how it ended. I was giggling.
Like the 1980s,
yeah,
like pause and frame.
He's just standing there, posing, just a. I was dying. It was so funny.
And for those who don't get it, I'll have it up on right now. I'll have it edited in right now. But whenever you shoot, after you shoot him for a little while, and also you get a magnum.
The dash attack, dude. Okay, I knew dude, walking around slowly, just like, dude, he got me walking around and making sure I don't stand still. Like he got me after that.
Whenever you said you had died, I knew for a fact it was the dash attack that had killed you. I was like, man, I died once. Yep, dash attack. 100% dash attack.
100% dash attack, and the fact that the med kits are stupid.
They are not. I explained it to you in a smart way. I just don't think you comprehended it.
Oh no, I comprehend it. I still think it's stupid. I think it's entirely dumb.
Maybe.
It is. Like opening a book and the med kit should be the exact same way. Regarding it, whichever way, but anyway.
But anyway, for all the context of that, once you shoot him for a little while, and after that, you get Brad from the helicopter's like, "Hey, use this!" and he throws down a fucking rocket launcher with 4 shots to it. And as long as you shoot it at him, you do the shot, the rocket goes flying at him, and Tyrant's just like, "Huh?" staring at you, and it's just pose, rocket.
Yeah, it's literally just a pose.
Camera position. Pose, rocket. It's like the old, like the slow motion, like the 1, 2, 3, and then boom.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I laughed at it.
I was not expecting that. Jeez, man. And then like the ending of it, like the ending of the rest of the. No, I just got a text. Like it was so funny.
Hmm.
The back to back explosions got me. I was giggling. I
And then
was.
then
Go ahead.
after you kill Tyrant, Brad lands and you and your party escape. And they're like, we need to make sure this happens nowhere else. And then credits roll. After credits roll, you are then given a special key, and you are then given the option of once again to play through the game another time as the other character. And that's Resident
Resident Evil. Super great. A lot of fun. I want to play it again at some point. I do want to play it again at some point.
And people out there, I
And
wish I could have gone into more detail of it all, but like a lot of the game
yeah,
itself was just
it's puzzles.
yeah,
We could sit here for like 30 minutes mentioning each puzzle. I will say one puzzle. There's a section where you end up like running from the boulders, and I thought that was super cool. But and there's one room to where and whenever I said it was one of my favorite puzzles, I didn't understand it. But there's one room to where you kind of push like the statue, then you use the lever to push it away from the wall. You then push onto like a little circle to where it spins it, and you could push it into place. I don't know what in the world game it reminds me of, but whenever I was younger, I used to play we had like almost every PopCap game that existed. Not Capcom, PopCap, if anyone even knows what that is. But enjoyed a lot of those games, and it reminded me of one of those games. I have no idea which one. Again, we had like 200 of them, but really enjoyed that puzzle, and it for some reason struck something of like I've seen this before. And so who knows, maybe someone out there knows what I'm talking about, but I really enjoyed it. That was a cool puzzle. I loved the not T virus. What am I thinking? The V Volt, T
yeah.
Volt,
G
G
V
Volt,
Jolt, V Jolt.
V Jolt. The V Jolt, that one was super cool. I really loved that puzzle. Um, And I mean, yeah, I mean, there's several puzzles in the game that are super cool. Finding out the key, that was confusing. The shotgun, you could use like a fake shotgun to prop a thing up.
Yeah,
Um, that was super cool. I just thought all of it was extremely cool. It was sick, and yeah, I think I kept the fake shotgun on me, so I didn't. So the cutscene did play and the trap did trigger, but I already got the stuff out of that room. So I mean, yeah, I was trapped out of the room, but it's like I already had the stuff from in there, so it was whatever. Did it become a Jill sandwich?
a Jill cake.
Jill sandwich.
Well, a
Become a
sandwich would
sandwich.
imply there's something in the middle, so Jill pancake.
Well, Barry made the joke was like a second sooner, you'd be able to fit inside a sandwich. Um,
Don't ever listen to Barry. Barry's something else.
what other puzzles were there that got? Oh, there was a box. There was a box. And I think it was the one that you could get the key,
Oh
but you
God,
assemble
the fucking shape one and just sliding it
the
in.
shape box. That's another one. That was another cool one. There was one other box to where it's like you have to find like the moon, the other half of the moon. And so I was like, huh. I was looking. I was like, do I go into a light? Like, do I go to a room with light? I was like, it's nighttime. What do I do? Oh, there like the box. Whenever you're selling a box, it's on the box, and so you had to click a thing.
Yeah,
You had to click the right button. So
in
I
it.
thought it was very cool. There's a few really fun puzzles in the game.
Yeah.
The the Beyblade that you turn, you put duct tape on the Beyblade, you
Oh, the
turn it.
crankshaft.
Shaft, that one. There was the Roman numerals on there. You could figure out what the code was. That was
Four,
cool.
three, two, one, or 4, 2, 3, 1.
There was, I mean, yeah, there was the one for the gate to outside the courtyard. There's one to where you could get the revolver.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, there's a few interesting
It
puzzles in
definitely
the
has
game.
fun puzzles to it. The one of them, once you play
It
it through the
does.
first time, I feel like one of the like a lot of these puzzles. Like I've already played this game once before. It's been 2 years, but a lot of the puzzles stuck with me. That's a really good thing. Is that these are decent
Hmm.
enough puzzles that you're gonna remember it later on down the road, I was like, oh yeah, this game, this puzzle. I remember how to do this one. It maybe not to its entirety, but I kind of know how to do it. So the puzzles were good. Um, story
The
wise,
zombie story was great in my opinion.
yeah.
Zombie, like, not the best in the world, but
Oh, well,
still
it's
awesome. It was still
1996. It's not, you gotta look. We
yeah,
also got to look at this.
yeah,
Its story's still 2002, but it's still 21 years ago. It's based on like a 1996 game,
yeah.
just a little updated graphics and a little bit more here and there.
It's still great though. It's still great. And then look at the franchise that bloomed from it. So, it's great. Um, I also what was another thing, dude? That, like, it's a horror game. There is horror stuff in here. Yeah, it's more of a thriller game, but like there it's a thriller game, but there's some bits in here that will scare the crap out of you.
One of the times whenever I want to say 100 jumped in through a window, there's 200s that jumped in through windows. That scared me.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, those will get you. Those bits will get you.
Oh,
There's a lot of where, like, my body would take a screenshot while playing the game.
one. And I guess now we can go into the actual overall judgment of the game. So the
Judgment of the game.
game itself, I do have a lot of fun with Resident Evils. I have a lot of fun with a lot of my games. Very few times will I sit there and bitch about a game. I've bitched about Sonic more than once because that's one of the
Silent Hill.
very no. I bitch. If I bring it up, you bitch about it, but I will bitch about it without it being brought up.
just,
That's the
just I'm in a
difference.
bad mood. I want to talk about Sonic.
Fuck, man, I stubbed my toe. Sonic 06 sucks.
Just extremely unrelated.
So, like, the game itself is a very fun game. Biggest downfall of this game is, like, you look at it from a first time player, you are going to get very frustrated with how the game operates in itself. A lot of the back and forth. Danger hated us playing. We played Kingdom Hearts. He hated one of the. We went to Tarzan's World, the Deep Jungle. He hated the back and forth. So I'm not sure entirely how he felt about all the back and forth stuff like that. He could like it. It could be a whole different situation. But for a lot of players out there, I could see the back and forth being a big issue on it. Two,
Yeah.
the story takes so long because it's not a long game if you know what you're doing. My
Mhm.
first time through, it took me literally pretty like 2 minutes less than 12 hours to beat. My second one is like 8 hours, maybe 8:30. It's
Yeah.
8 to like 9 hours. I'm less than 10 hours. Danger took 15 hours. So you cut that down to you use that right there as a time frame. Let's say 12 hours. Let's just say 12 hours. That's like a median between all of
Yeah.
it.
So
It takes so long to develop the story, and it takes so long to develop that story that by the time you really get to it, I feel like a lot of people would be frustrated with it. I was frustrated too, kind of the first time I ever played it because I just sat down and played it like, man, it's taken forever. What the fuck am I doing? And
I
then
I myself was very interested pretty much the whole time,
it's
and
fun.
so yeah, and I think of, like having the map. I definitely like seeing its green, and like, or seeing it's like the reddish, brownish, orangish color, and then once you complete a room, it becomes green. That, like, seeing slowly the whole map becoming just all green. That's what sold it for me as being completely fine with the with the whole, like, long bit back and forth thing, is that I get
And
to see the map slowly become green.
And I'm not sure how it is for you, but I feel like, at least in your sense, because you've talked about wanting to do Resident Evils, and we've talked more than once about playing Resident Evils together. I
Yeah,
feel like,
even in my newest video, I have that I'm interested in these, and that playing this game makes me want to continue, like,
and
actually do that.
I want to say, I'm not gonna say I feel like I must be a biased almost, just because you like Resident Evil, you like the whole stigma
I
of
love
Resident Evil.
I love the whole franchise. Yeah, I think the franchise is super cool.
And also from an outward point of view, like first time whenever I played Resident Evil, I watched the movies. Then I played the game. So I kind of was like, yeah, Resident
Mm.
Evils are cool. I don't know anything about the games. I hadn't even played like 7 or 8 yet. Maybe I played 7 on my birthday prior. Yeah, I did play 7 on my birthday, like the year it came out. But outside
I'm
of that,
not
I had
looking
no.
forward to playing 7 at all. I'm not. I'm not looking
I
forward to
hated
playing
that
7.
game. I legitimately just hated that game.
I'm not even looking forward to it. But I want to get it done. I want to get all of them done.
But anyway, Like, you look at it from an hour, like, I was annoyed the first time through playing it just because of a lot of the absolute confusion of it. I played through it again, I was less confused. I'll play through it a third time, I'll be more or less know what I need to do. I'll just think, "Eh, man, I forget what I need to do here. Oh, yeah, that's right." And it's just a whole lot of that. And this game has a lot of, at first time through, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have a book. What do I do with said book? Danger in one of his things had red book. And then later on, found red book and put red book into naked lady picture.
Yeah, dude. I was looking. I was like, huh. I was like, what is this? I didn't even realize. Here's the thing. I didn't even realize it was supposed to make a picture, which is very obvious. It is the exact same book, and there's a thing on it. It should have been, but at the
You
moment,
should
I
have
was
just
like,
blurred it because I would have loved to, like, huh? What is? Oh my god, it's a naked lady! I would have loved that reaction in there.
my reactions in there of figuring because I
No, like
assembled it in
as
my
you
head.
look at no, as you look at it, because you literally look at it at the books for like a second. I saw that part, and then you cut to the book being solved. I would have loved as like, all right, let's put this book here. Let's put this book here. Man, what is this picture making? Those are a pair of legs. There ain't no way this is. Oh my god, it's a lady.
No, because my freak out was genuine. Again, I'm really good at those types of puzzles. Like those types of puzzles, where, like the pictures kind of messed up. I can look at like a few pictures and assemble it in my head pretty fast once I figure out
I
what it is.
I just wish you'd have like the stuff and you could just blur it because I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to hear that reaction.
My reaction was genuine. My reaction was there, figuring out what it was. My reaction is there of like, because again, I assembled it in my head. I just didn't build it. So I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And then I paused the recording once I figured it out.
But
And I solved it
the
off
game
camera.
itself, I won't complain at. And, like, at least from my point of view, I had fun with the game both times I played it. I had
I'm
issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna 100% tell my brother that he should try to play it at some point. Like it's a fun game.
It
I would
is.
recommend this game to most people that I know that to
It,
play it at least once.
mm-hmm.
Like
and,
it's a fun game.
and like that's a great play. And that's the fun thing about it. And now you have the multiple endings to it. If you have like Danger, you have 6 endings, or you have the technical 4. I'll say 4 just because it's insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
It's different. It's different enough that I consider it an ending.
And
It's
then
another ending.
it makes perfect sense to why you think it's another ending. I just wouldn't classify it. I don't classify it as another ending. It's just a cosmetic with another character, pretty much. Is the way I
Mhm.
classify it.
Also, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else, but I kind of lost it. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. But I mean, the game very fun. If y'all have ever thought about playing it, y'all entirely should. At least once, because it's a very fun game. It's an interesting game. It's a game that is definitely very popular. Part of a franchise that is incredibly popular, and so and I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I would. I thought I was gonna enjoy it. Problem is I kind of still had like I played Silent Hill and then going to this game. So not only did I play Silent Hill, but then also the first time I tried to record it, I should stream for like an hour and a half, but my mic didn't pick up. The video's on
You
the
have a
channel, by
bad
the way.
stigma for older games.
No, because I'm fine with this one. I'm fine with this one, and it's not older games that it's not all older games I have a problem with. Mario 64 is literally one of my favorite games. Like I like
You
older
have a
games,
stigma
but
for old games that I pick. You're skeptical of any old game I pick now.
nope.
That's why you
I'm
can hate Parasite
skeptical
Eve.
of Silent Hill. And here's the thing: before I played, I was super interested and excited to go into Silent Hill. Same thing with like Resident. Now, not as much as Resident Evil, but I was excited to go into it because it was a series that I wanted to play. I was interested and I wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to. I couldn't. I was bored. I was annoyed. I was angry. This game, I got annoyed and angry, but I was never bored, and the story was good in my opinion. So I really like this game.
That's fine.
But
Out of the two of them, I'll say I prefer Silent Hill.
And that's fine if you enjoy the game. And also, you actually played it multiple times, so you know the full stuff, and you like it and you enjoy it, and that's cool. And the game's not entirely a bad game, but I'm not interested in it. Plus, it has problems that make me
Yeah,
just not like
I
it.
know. Here's the thing. I'm not
It's
going
a
to sit here and
it's
be
a
like,
personal opinion thing. It's a personal biased opinion thing. That is it biased if it's just I don't even like it. Because I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying I think it's a bad game. So I
Well,
don't think it's biased.
no,
Because
you gave your
it's opinion
opinion.
based.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah,
it's an opinion based. It's not a this is a bad game. It's
yeah.
not a
It's
bad
like
game. It's I don't.
like you said earlier. You said in one of our earlier episodes that after we play Silent Hill 2, if you don't like it, you're not gonna like. You think you're not gonna like any others. That's a biased opinion. You played the first one. You have an opinion on it. You have skeptical opinions of other Silent Hills, but you're in a biased opinion.
It's not. I don't think that the other games are going to be bad, but I'm worried.
Like
Hopefully, they should be better though.
one
Hopefully,
is
they should be better.
100% like gameplay the worst because it's the first one. It's kind of testing stuff out.
Yeah.
2 is the best.
Which it did. It was interesting. It was interesting.
3 is the more horror. 4 I have not played, so I don't have an opinion on there. Shattered Memories is a weird, but a fun weird.
How many episodes did we finally stop talking about Silent Hill? How many episodes?
Never, ever. Silent Hill is going to be our magnum opus until we.
You know what's something that's funny? You know something that's funny? It is because of the haters that were mad, like the people who were mad at us for hating Silent Hill, that it is now immortalized. If they just didn't say anything, nothing would have happened. It would have been gone already.
Should we make Pyramid Head like a recolor Pyramid Head and give him a Buster Sword and make him our mascot?
If you want that to be your guy, a freaking, it's like Chainsaw Man, but you got 2 Buster Swords and a long Pyramid Head. There you go. You got it.
But I'll give my overall verdict on this game. I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 just because if you look at it from an outward thing, it's a lot of back and forth. That's 100% fact. That right there can get rid of a lot of players. The puzzles are sometimes straightforward and at the exact same time not. At 3, it takes a long time to really get the game going. If you play it if you've never played it before, it's gonna take you forever to start figuring stuff out. So then it's gonna be a very slow start. It's a very slow chug to when the story really starts picking up. Combat is very basic.
I see him in the background,
yeah. Combat's very basic and easy to take care of. Yet at the same time, it has issues with it. Like the game doesn't always tell you headshots. You can look up and get a headshot, but it doesn't always tell you can do it. I mean, you use basic sense, then yeah, you can. But at the exact same time, it doesn't explain stuff. That's what a lot of this as at least comparing to newer games, is it's not as straightforward as some of them, and I can see this losing a lot of players quickly if it's their first time playing this, especially with like shitty voice acting and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
I agree. I'm gonna also give it a 7. I'm like I like have like 2 different reviews to where I think it's a 7 game, but I would give it an 8. I'm thinking about it though. How many games am I gonna keep trying to give a higher rating? Because like there's other. Gosh, I'm tempted to give a personal opinion of an 8.
Okay.
I did enjoy it.
Oh, I mean, my personal opinion of it's gonna stay. My personal opinion is a 7 all the way.
Yeah, I think because it's like two different opinions. I think the game's a 7, but personally I think it's an 8. But also looking at everything, think it's a 7, and I agree with that. Maybe an 8. I'm gonna give it a 7, but know that I very highly considered giving it an 8.
Games of Gamers Danger gives it a 7. Danger gives it an 8.
Yeah, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to do so. I am tempted to do so. But yeah, and that's typically what I do is like some of these games to where it's like if I know I'm being biased, then it's why I go into 2 separate votes because of what I actually think it is, my unbiased opinion, but then biased opinion is like, yeah, I'm voting the game as like a 7, but I think it's an 8, but I already know by all the like aspects of it and whatnot, I could totally not see everyone enjoying this game.
Can you hear my cat?
Like as much. Not enjoying this game as much. No, I cannot see him. I cannot see any cat. Hear him now.
Okay. He's just sitting back there going
I'm sure it'll pick up on recording. I'm sure I'll hear it if I listen to recording.
It's a fun game. It's a fine game, honestly. I played worse.
Oh, I've played much worse. I played Silent Hill.
I prefer Silent Hill to it. Overall, my God.
Oh, now I hear it. Now I hear
fucking nuts back there. Holy hell!
I'm gonna get down. Get out.
But it's a fine game. Resident Evil's a really, really fun, dandy game.
It's a really fun game. Everyone should play it at least once.
And we have a new segment in here, which I came up with halfway through this.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Just because it happened once right now, and I figured why not? Is our Our comments, Danger. We got a fun comment the other day.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the one you sent.
Yeah, the one that popped up on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And you know what? Hey,
Abigail Williams.
yeah. So which one are you wanting to talk about though? Because it wasn't there two.
But it's pretty much one comment.
Just finish one.
I'll just address it here. And as we get more of these comments, we'll address them. Think of like as fan mail.
Yeah.
Of it. We were asked by Abigail Williams. I think it was like that, like Abigail like dash Williams 8, something like that.
You know who you are if you are listening to this episode. You know who you are.
Thank you for stopping on listening to Games and Gamers. It means a lot.
Yes.
Two. The question that was asked was, out of the two of you, which is the better gamer?
And there's two answers to that. Because it entirely depends on what you mean by who's the better gamer. Now, if you're talking about who plays more of the games, who has more games, who has more knowledge about video games, then that is Hayden. But if you were talking about who's the better gamer as in a competitive scene, such as either if it's shooters, fighting games, racing games, then that's going to be me. Because I've been at the
I will argue like first-person shooters. I will kick your ass. I will argue that.
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. Maybe.
We need to test this theory next time
we need to test that one. But but also it's like but that's one thing out of every category there is of like PvP stuff.
I know.
So it's why because I have gaming knowledge as well. When I have a bunch of Nintendo gaming knowledge, more than you do. But that doesn't mean that I have more knowledge than you. You have way more knowledge than I do. I have knowledge about Nintendo stuff, and I've had to explain a lot of stuff to you. But, like, you have way more knowledge of all gaming. I'm strong in this department, but you're better than everything else. So same thing. If you are better than me at first person, that's first person compared to everything else. So it's two different answers. It's two different answers of, if you're talking about gaming variety, gaming knowledge, blah, 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 that's Hayden. If you're talking about PvP, competitive stuff, that's me. I'm a very competitive person. So I'm trying to work on and not be so competitive and so uptight and whatnot, but it's something I'm working on to try to be. But competitive scene. But if you're talking about knowledge, Hayden's the smarter one. There it is. Games and Gamers officially. DangerX is admitting he's the dumber one.
And here's a fun thing, Danger. If I really wanted to, fun fact: I used to be a very competitive gamer.
Nice.
I used to do.
Don't do it again. It's not fun. Enjoy gaming, please. Do not go back to the competitive thing. I want to get. You know something? I'm like, I want to not be so competitive. Let me do that by joining competitive. Basically, my logic is join competitive, but stay humble. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on.
I am not. I am going to. I've gone away from PvP just because I hate the stigma.
Good.
I hate the people behind
Good.
it. But
Good.
I used to be badass and stuff. Call of Duty, I was good at back whenever I played with my buddies. Like I used to be. I would kick younger me, 13, 14-year-old me would smash every single person that knows right now. Smash Brothers, I would kick ass. Shooters, everything, I would kick ass. Now, not so much. Maybe. I don't know. But that's all we got for this.
But thank you for the question, though. If you are listening to this, thank you. Dude, that's cool. Thank you for listening, and I hope that kind of because. And here's the thing: when you sent that question, we talked about it in the Discord. If you in my Discord, I'm not gonna go plug in that though here, but. We talked about it though, literally, and we had a whole conversation of like I was thinking about it, I was like, well, it depends on like when you're asking that question, it depends on what you mean, because you can't just say the better gamer overall, because there's a bunch of different things that go into play. So there's two answers to your question. Yeah. So hopefully that answers it. Hopefully that's a good enough of an answer. You got two of them.
And then people out there, if you want to comment on that, maybe as we start getting more, we'll start do more comment readings. Because why not? It's fun.
If we got like a crap ton of comments, then we could do a whole video on it. But
yeah, we could. A lot of them, you know what a lot.
If we got comments,
you know what a lot of it's probably going to be.
And we'll do it. We'll listen.
That's a whole hour-long episode of
an hour long of people are like, y'all are bad at the game. Y'all are unprofessional. Are you even gamers? You're even playing the game.
God, I still get some hate for that. People still try.
I ignore it. It's like, hey, if you want to come in here, Hayden, that's cool. If you want to just come in here and hating, you can do that down there. You can give us a boost. Not gonna acknowledge it, but thank you for the likes and comments or dislikes and comments. And guess what? YouTube removed the dislikes. Stupid decision, but cool. So now you can't even hate us. YouTube stopped you from.
You can silently hate us.
This isn't Facebook. Get out of here.
God, I got to tell you a story about Facebook after we're done with
Oh
this.
boy. All right.
After we're done,
Cool,
and
man.
it's nothing that pertains to anything you know of technically. All right, so Danger. I hope we got a
Yes.
full whole little script ready for explaining what our next game is, like I've been doing the last few games. So, what is our next
Uh
game? Give us a really cool and in-depth description to make us excited for the next one.
Man, next game is so interesting, dude.
Do I need to do it, or can you do it?
No, I'll do it. I'll let y'all know. So next game is supposed to be for the October spooky month. The whole scene is to continue onward. Another game that I started but ended up not finishing was Alien Isolation. I wanted to record Alien Isolation 3 days ago, and I have not been able to record it still. And stuff's come up to where I'm going to be extremely busy, and so I'm probably not going to be around to record an Alien Isolation episode, which really sucks.
And guess what? Games and Gamers is going to be Game and Gamer.
It's either a solo episode, maybe I'm sure you can probably find another co-host. Maybe.
I have one person in mind, but that's a 50-50 chance.
It's a 50. I wanted to, bro. I will say this right now on camera. Your dad is the best character. I freaking love your dad. He is awesome.
I've asked him if he wants to, but Danger, you disappointed me.
Dude, I'm disappointed in myself. Don't worry, bro.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. You're supposed to give a cool, enticing thing. You know what? I'm gonna do it because you didn't do it.
Go ahead. Hey, if you want to cut everything else I said, go ahead. You do you.
Join us next time on Games and Gamers as we go into deep space. Amanda Ripley, who lost her mother, is informed that her whereabouts may be on an abandoned ship known as the Nostromo. Join her as she goes on this journey trying to find her mother, surviving humans, androids, and a killer alien alike in Alien Isolation. That's how you do it.
Oh.
But yeah, we're gonna do Alien Isolation in our next one. Okay, maybe I don't know. Danger could get eaten by an alien between this one and the next one. Who knows?
We'll see, and I'll try. I will try. Here's the problem. I don't think I'm beating Alien Isolation in 2 weeks. I don't think I am.
Don't.
So it's why. It's why I don't know. Is the thing.
And like I said, there's it can be handled either way, no issue whatsoever.
Yeah. So I mean, a solution. Games and Gamers will be fine. Games and Gamers, you're fine. In the next game set, yeah, you're getting Alien Isolation. And if I'm not here for it, that's entirely fine.
And then, after that, we have another fun one happening after that. We're not going to say what it is, but it's our first ever listener suggested game. And I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to start that sooner than later. But alright.
Yeah. But thanks all for listening. Hope you enjoyed us griping about Resident Evil and all that fun stuff. And like I said, I will apologize if you wanted us bit by bit explanation. If you ask, we'll do this again and go more detail in it. But right now, first time story explanation of it, it's hard to just kind of you know what? I was gonna actually do a little basic pinpoint of what the story actually is. Very quick of the game. I said this earlier on. The story itself is you Star members have to go investigate kills, deaths that happened at a mansion. You go inside this mansion and realize this mansion is a whole science experiment. The science experiment is governed over by Umbrella. As Umbrella is testing on stuff, they accidentally unleash a T virus infecting many people in the mansion, causing accidents to fully happen. You as Chris or Jill, we'll say Chris and Jill as one journey, go through discovering how this virus has come into fruition, what all is fucked up with, and you learn that Wesker is a big portion of it and is a double agent working for Umbrella, working with Stars to take over and destroy evidence of what's all going on. You join Rebecca, you meet Barry. Well, you meet Rebecca, you have Barry help you in all this as you just destroy this mansion to hopefully get rid of the T virus to stop it from destroying the world, as we see in later Resident Evil games. That right there is what 10 sentences on Resident Evil story. So that's why we had a hard time pinpointing the entire story of it. But I digress. You got any other wise words, Danger? Anything fun before we go kicking aliens' ass?
Not really. No, I think I'm all good. We talked a lot about Resident Evil. It's great. I think the only thing is you know what? If we Resident Evil remastered, if we do talk about Resident Evil remastered podcast, talking about the remastered type of thing. But again, I feel like we kind of got our point across.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's our own little take and spin on it. One thing I will say once again, I feel like I might mention it every episode is we're not professional in any way, shape, or form. There's a billion of those out there. Yes, he puts it. You know, I will say Hayden does do a lot of editing and stuff and whatnot, and I do try. He does editing. I try to put work into thumbnails and whatnot. We do game. We try to get them done. But you know, one thing is that we're here to have fun. Well, we'll put more work into it, and while recently I've been putting more work into the channel, here to have fun and whatnot, and enjoy things. But so we're not gonna be freaking IGN. We're not gonna turn around and be IGN.
I'm here to cause chaos and discord among many, many people. I find it hilarious to see the hate
extreme chaos, extreme discord, extreme danger, DangerXtreme on Games and Gamers podcast. But
yep.
One thing is
we're very
lot of fun. Fun is the priority of it. Is one thing. One thing is it's a lot of fun. If it ends up paying in the future, cool. And if it starts actually making a lot of money, then we would take things far more seriously. But this is just for fun. This is a hobby. This is to hopefully give some form of entertainment to people. And there's a billion review channels out there. So if you want a more professional one, there's IGN. There's channels of people who do this for a living. So yeah, there's Minion. Y'all can't see him, but he's there.
He came over and just gave the saddest little meow because he wants love and he's tired.
He's tired, man. Minion, I can agree with you there. I am so tired.
Oh, he's closing his eyes as being held. As much as I hate this cat, I love this cat.
Doing math in my head. 18. I've been up for 18 hours. I'm tired.
But like I said, join us for Alien Isolation, the next one. We're gonna have fun with it, kicking an alien's ass. Watch both of our channels as we upload.
That's the thing. Alien, I do want to upload. If that's what I'm saying. If for Alien Isolation, I want to upload it, and that's why I don't think I'd be able to have it beat in time. Is because I want to upload it.
Streaming it, honestly, probably not this.
And I'm not gonna go based off So I have played it before, but I didn't finish it. I'm not gonna go based off that. I'm gonna reset the whole game and continue forward from there.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna probably start streaming it. Honestly.
Yeah. So hopefully get it beat. But again, very unlikely. Very probably. I don't even have 2 weeks. I have a week to get it beat. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it done in a week. But alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, Alien Isolation up next. Resident Evil's really good. Everyone, please, if you have the ability, play it at least once.
Silent Hill. Go and give us more power.
No, I don't like Silent Hill. Don't go around hating on people. Everyone love each other. Have fun.
No, go hate on that one video so we have more power. So we're just sitting there cackling in the background.
You all have permission. Y'all have permission to hate on us in the Silent Hill video. That is the one where you're giving you permission to hate on. That is fine. Don't get YouTube mad at you, but alright. Hope y'all enjoyed. We will see you all next time. Turn off our controllers, put up our consoles, and GG's everyone.
Yep.
See ya. Bye.
Bye, everybody.